So basically that's it. All we need is a flight module, which does require ghast. Well, in all the mods 8 we used a stasis chamber. Here I don't think we need to. It's a void world. How hard can it be to find a ghast? Besides, this is a Soul Sand Valley. All we need to do in the nether is to remove these stupid things and then wait for a ghast. Go to hell. We just get rid of the mobs. And maybe make the platform a bit bigger. Oh yeah, we have one. Hello. Okay, one syringe is one ghast. If you don't do return to sender. So many ghasts, what the hell? We just have to get rid of the mobs again. I was waiting for you. You're the final one. Oops. Takes less time than a stasis chamber.
Okay.
But yeah, we're done. That should be the flight module. We shall have 10 of them. Oh, we can do it like that. Okay, it does stack. Batteries are going to be a pain, I think. I do have substitution enabled. Let's see how it goes. So can you make me 20? Clay. That's it. Clay has EMC, so we're good. So can you give me 20? Okay, seems to work fine. Can't really complain. Then the only thing remaining is that we need to start making the high density power capacitor, which I do have a feeling it's going to be super easy. And I don't know, 20 rending gales. Let's get some dark matter. 100 more. Why am I picking it up? Oh, magnet. My bad. I don't know why, but I had a decent supply of lava buckets in my system. We used that one. Oh, I was using it for the cobblestone generators. Okay, that explains. Because this was a bit stupid. That's probably enough bands. So, rending gale, we shall have it. Doesn't stack, but we want to have 20 of them. Is the thing. Oh, only 10. Sorry. My bad.
Gillette Labs, notre meilleur rasoir, offrant jusqu'à 30 rasages par recharge. La perfection au masculin.
The rest are garbage. Oh, another thing. Nitro batteries have to be full. Ew, it's fine. It will charge up eventually. Don't you worry. It's been maybe a few hours later, but I did realize we have a few grave requests. One of them is a couple, and we take couples very seriously. So they're going to receive a dragon heart, and the couple are Lord Aproxia, and I messed up the rest. Yes, Lady Octelli. Then we have Lord NHD with a Jack-o'-lantern. User PT8 MV7 PT6D, who's also a Duke, requested the Rune of Wrath. Like so. Then we're going to have a single grave over here for Baron Kubas. He requested an end crystal. I think you can just put it there. Then blow up. We're good. I run away. There's apparently another couple which I missed, Lord Pattis and Lady Tomtis. You requested purple leaves, but that's not available. You get purple mushrooms, I guess. There you go. Sir Duncan requested a block of unobtainium. Someone whose name I cannot mention also requested a grave. I just copied and pasted obtainium. Someone whose name I cannot mention also requested a grave. I just copied and pasted it. Akiva wanted a block of TNT. And my dearest friend Lord Kanapka asked for a mob. I thought you never ask. He said any mob will do, so we go with a villager. Oops. Technically, he's beneath your grave. It's all a matter of distance. I think I got all the graves. Hope I didn't miss anyone. Anywho, moving on, we have 13 antimatter. Let's see how much we have. We have 8 more, that's perfect. So for the moment, maybe you shouldn't work that fast. Go back to your 8 million RF. Thank you. Yeah, we went through 1.5 trillion RF. That was a lot. But now that we have the antimatter, I think we should be able to make some improbable probability devices. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm still waiting for 2 more storage components. It has been running for 3 hours and 40 minutes, so maybe soon we're going to get the other 2. But in any case, you're off the list. In other news, the reactor is currently giving us a net gain of 3.25 million RF. Containment field is good, core temperature is fine. So let's go to 3.5 million RF net. Are we good? Don't explode. We're good. I will continue extracting power until the heat reaches a certain level. Then instead of increasing the power extraction, I'm just going to reduce the input rate. You know, to keep the containment field at an acceptable level. As long as we're getting a net gain, I don't really care. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? Half-Life. If you guys remember, last episode we made a few components of the Old Mod Star, and today we want to continue with that tradition. That's basically the goal of the mod pack. But where do we stand? After around 4.5 hours of crafting, we're still waiting for 1 mega storage component, you know, the 256 million, and we're still missing 30 antimatter. The problem is that I really want to try and move these reactors. I have said that in the past, they do cause a bit of FPS lag, so we can put it inside a dimension from AE2, but I think there's also a better solution from megacells. One of the things that you might notice is that we're storing polonium in our AE2 network thanks to megacells. And yes, we have 12,000 buckets. That should be enough in order to make 12 antimatter. And yes, since I have restricted the amount of power that the SPS chamber is receiving, we're having an excess amount. I do have 10 cells over here which are keeping the polonium, and I have already added some drives over here, you know, the new expansion to our base. I have ordered 30 radioactive chemical storage cells, and that should be more than enough, which you shouldn't put them in. I just remembered. I have to configure each and every one inside a cell workbench. But remember, each and every one of these radioactive chemical cells can hold enough polonium in order to make 2 antimatter pellets. It's like 2,000 buckets. Oh, you can copy things. Ew, so if I put you in, you don't have to drag and drop every time. That's really neat. So those 3 drives that you see in front of you are going to be enough in order to make at least 60 antimatter pellets. We have already installed 11, so we should be able to handle like 85 antimatter or something. That means whenever this number reaches 80,000 buckets, I can just remove the reactors. The only thing remaining is that we do need to have a few channels over here, which for that I'm going to use one of these extra quantum rings that we have. I made too many of them, we might as well use them. Otherwise, we do have wireless AE2. That should boot up. Perfect. Oh, I ordered way more. We don't need them. I was going to say any second we're going to have our mega storage component, and yes, it's finally ready. So we can have 2 more improbable probability devices, and we have an extra antimatter pellet. Perfect. But moving on, there's another thing that we need, and that is called a piglich heart. So there are different ways of getting piglich heart and farming the piglich, but I think I have a better solution. We just need to kill them 6 times. You know, instead of trick me's, we're just gonna put them inside the machine. However, if I remember things correctly, a piglich has like 10,000 hearts, so we need to do quite a bit of damage. That is 96 buckets of strength too. Okay, that should be enough. But you can just use a bottle. That's so nice. I thought you need a fluid transposer, which apparently you don't. If it's not obvious, what I am going to do is that I'm going to upgrade my Draconic Sword to Chaotic and see what happens. Oh, by the way, since yesterday there has been some texture issues with Draconic Evolution. So yeah, some things are invisible. Here is our Chaotic Sword, hopefully. We have plenty of potions, and I have just made the patterns for the upgrades. So, I don't know, can I have 20, 30? Okay, we need way more potions. Small Chaos Fragments. Oh, these are invisible. Well, these are the large ones. We can take the old upgrades out. And yeah, upgrading it is going to be a bit cheaper. Okay, I get the ingredients. Based on the total amount of Chaos Fragments that we have, we can have 21k damage. So currently our sword does 400 damage. Wow. And we made some draconic. I don't know, like 20. I need more bottles. I'm lazy. So does it work? Yes. Let's summon a stupid piglet. In order to summon the piglet, what we're going to need is a Franken zombie controller. Which technically speaking, we just need to have one zombie, and we'll do. Maybe we take two, just in case. I made extra soul vials. They were left inside. It's fine. This is all we want. Franken zombie. I'm scared of Ender.io. We just break the machine and put it back into the system. So it's just red matter, unobtainium, and treasure core. What the hell is this? This is easy. This is Forcecraft, and I really wanted to play with it, but unfortunately in this mod pack, you really can't. You can't really go low tech, is the thing. So red matter, a bit of unobtainium, and the Franken zombie. Get spawned. Hello. Stay there. Let us get a data model and some swords. Oh, you can't do that. You? It's fine. I can summon him 6 times. He's cheap. 9,999. This could take a while. This could take a very long time. Oh, we got 3 holders. But our data model is faulty. We need to do this 5 more times. Okay, we can do that. Don't you worry. It's just that I might need to have a bit more zombies. Turn it into nighttime. I thought piglets just have a spawn egg. Apparently they don't. This is why the swap was not working. Also, turn it into, I don't know, midnight. Thank you. I just need 5 zombies, and I get garbage mobs. Yeah, you see? It's fine. We can always get rid of them. Seriously, dude, where are the zombies? That was funny. I have gathered 5 more zombies. Let's summon more piglets. We can do that at the same time, right? It's fine. We just need the 5. We're good. Don't you worry. We killed them. Come on. Yeah. I don't get damaged, which is amazing. We have 16 piglet hearts, and we have a basic data model, meaning that we should just be able to spawn them. Yeah, you will do. This is a very garbage data model, so the chances of failing is a lot. But after a few hundred iterations, we should get some piglet hearts. That's not something to worry about. However, one of the things that I forgot to visit is our draconic reactor. Containment field is at 41%, heat is decent, and we are extracting 4.5 million RF. So let's increase that by 250,000. We're still good, right? Yep, once the containment field is stabilized, I increase it again. We're stable. So let's go to 5 million. Yeah, we're good. So currently we're extracting a net power of 4 million RF, which is not that bad. Regarding the Old Mod Star, there are a few things that we're missing. So piglet is used in the Dragon Soul, but you might notice we also need inactive Dragon Egg. That requires draconic chunks, which comes from bees. You can't do bees if you don't have a nest, and you can't really make a beehive without honeycomb, so we're in a small pickle. But thankfully, there's the alchemistry mod. That should work. Oh, and yes, I cancelled something very important. I wanted the Ring of Arcana. Anyways, that is a dissolver. We give you some wool. Yep, that's what we want. And what we want is some honeycomb. Thankfully, we also have some sucrose. We can get more, don't you worry. But that should give us, yeah, honeycomb. We just need 3. Sugar should give you sucrose, right? Yeah, there you go. We have 3 honeycomb. That means finally I can make a stupid beehive. Wait, I can have a villager for bees. Doesn't give you anything of interest. Maybe later. But we have a beehive. Let's get the actual bee. And that is why I needed the Ring of Arcana, because we need some grass. And that works. Okay, I think I have every ingredient for Does it work? Yes. We don't have bee cages. So for the moment, you go inside the soul vial. Let's get...
It's like, you know, how first off, this food sucks. Secondly, the finite will stabilize. Also, easy. Zoom. Key W. So okay, we can now zoom, and that's supposed to be our thing. So we have, you know, a lot. We have Gug. We have Gug D. Skull. Yep, to eat heat stuff. I don't know what to do version. And yeah, I like to custom. So you can do something in yourself. They click too fast.
Get a bit more. Don't run away. I think the advanced beehive, which I have just made, can hold 5 bees. Only 3. What if you get an expansion box? So we have more? Ah. Now we can
How
have 5
silly.
bees. That's good. I had to make a very small garbage area for the bees, and they seem to be happy. They're producing us some honeycomb, and hopefully some honey. However, we do have some time
we
before
get
the honey builds
those
up, so there
bees?
are a few things that we need to do. I was actually looking for that cow. Let's get some milk, because the next mob that we're going to spawn is going to be slimes. How do you summon a slime? Okay, so dirt, stone, some slime balls. Like so. Obviously, we want
Also,
to have a
instead
data
of the
model and a bucket of milk.
void wall.
Yep. It's a tiny one. Jerks. Well, we need to do this 5 more times, I guess. Can I get a big one, please? No, all of them are tiny. And have a ton of health. I used to think you can just punch them to death. Anywho, the reason that we needed slime balls is that for one of the older mods parts, which I forgot which one. Ah, yes, the Wither's Compass. We need a Witherless Rose. That requires fertile essence, and that requires a bunch of stuff. These things are easy to get. Slime balls was a problem. Then again, maybe
Oh,
not.
hostile.
It's fine, I can get more data models. Don't you worry. Well, to be fair, I do need a decent number. Let's get the data models. It should be just creepers and skeletons, and yes, I did find a witch. For later on. Well, with that, creepers should be basic. I just need one more skeleton. Yeah, that one. Over here, we did have some simulation chambers in order to get iron. We don't need it anymore. So I'll use them for skeletons and creepers. Also, I think, yeah, for the piglet heart, we're already good. Now we have 1 stack. We needed 10. Also, I have made a very small promise to Lord Tizona that I'm going to summon cats. So yeah, I made a resource fisher, and we're getting tons of enchanted books. That's good. Because very soon I'm going to need mystical enlightenment. Well, we got Reaper. And by the way, I did make a red matter furnace. It's incredibly fast. If you give it some fuel, obviously. So Lord Tizona, be summoned. Hello, and you're black. Come back. I'm friendly. I swear, did he fall down? No. As a previous cat owner, you have to stand still and build some trust. Although it does help if he sees you, we're building trust. Yes, we have him. Henceforth, you shall be known as Lord Tizona. Follow me. Also, don't fall into witchwater. Please, please. So it goes on the bed, right? Yep. That's what they do. Moving on to the Aldermont store and antimatter, you might notice that we are reaching a point where we don't need to produce any more polonium in order to get antimatter. We just need to have 30 pellets. We have 1 in the system, and I think a few over here, 6. Okay, we have already reached the point. So most of the radioactive cells that I have made are basically redundant, but I have also made some item storage cells. I think we should be able to, yeah, pop them. They're empty. We can pop them. Don't you worry. Anyways, yes, it is true that we don't need to make any more polonium, but some of that could be needed for the endgame crafting. So I have been thinking, maybe we should keep a teeny tiny bit of fissile fuel in our
Stop
system. The recipe for the
bringing
256k ME chemical storage cell requires an ME storage component. I don't really want to craft more. We have 60 of them, and I think I ordered more in our system. Oh yeah, 50 more. Okay, I'll empty them. Don't you worry. I just wanted to make sure that I don't have to make them ever again. And now we can order 110 chemical storage. That was fast. Hey, don't tell anyone. I think this is an overkill. Also, I do have a feeling they don't really have to be partitioned. Otherwise, I have to remove every single one and partition every single one. And I'm also a very lazy person. Anywho, let's turn off one of the reactors. We shall craft a fancy import bus. And can we import the fissile fuel? Are we? Oh yes, we are. Lovely. 6 buckets. We can do it faster. Don't you worry. Oh, that's a decent rate. I like that one. There are 2 byproducts of not requiring fissile fuel and polonium anymore. Well, obviously, one of them is that there has been a change of our requirements for different types of resources. For example, we don't need sulfur anymore because we have 27 million. We need redstone. And that was 17 phytogenic insulators that have been changed. The other thing is that our fissile fuel setup over here is almost redundant. This consumes a stupendous amount of resources and power and also contributes a lot to lag. We're not lagging yet, but you know, we can lag. One day. So as soon as our fissile fuel reaches a certain amount, I'm going to remove all of these machines and we're not going to lag ever. Also, I think removing the fissile fuel setup is going to release like, I don't know, 1.5 million ore or something crazy. So we will get antimatter a bit faster. However, reducing the number of mechanism machines means that we can have way more machines. This is going to be the final AE2 setup that we're going to have in another dimension. Way more machines. They're a bit faster. However, reducing the number of mechanism machines means that we can have
Fuck you.
This is going to be the final AE2 setup that we're going to have in another dimension. And yes, I have increased the height. And that place is going to be reserved for phytogenic insulators. Where's the stupid chunk? Ah, it's here.
L'instant du déclic. Instax.
Blockheads because
Okay, it has been a while later, and what you see in front of you is 6 stacks of phytogenic insulators. It's quite a bit, I know. These 96 that you see in front of you are making us redstone, some of them are making us steel, electrum, and invar. Then we have dirt and fire in order to make a ton of sand, which if I manage to come up here, I can show you that we're converting it into glass. It's not a ton of sand, is the problem. But the supply of glass isn't that bad. Yeah, I would say it's 1000 per second. It's not bad, because redstone is almost the same. 1000 per second. Almost. Could be more, could be a teeny tiny bit less. Then what took the longest was emerald seeds. We're making tons of emeralds, and yes, more redstone. Because somebody actually left me a message, which I thought it was very nice. If you use a philosopher's stone and 1 emerald, you get 2 diamonds. That gives you 8 gold, and that gives you 1 stack of iron. So long story short, we need a lot of emeralds. I have some other phytogenic insulators making us nether wart, mushrooms, and sugarcane, as well as the essences from mystical agriculture. Oh, and yes, honey seeds. They're very useful. But that's basically it. A ton of machines. Are we lagging? Oh, we're close. Okay, that is perfectly fine, because we don't need a few machines. This reactor can run. I don't really need. I love shrimps. The problem is that they're garbage. Thank you. I couldn't vein mine. There are a few lag-busting things that I have to do, but for the moment, let us test the thing with emeralds. So here's a pattern that 1 stack of emeralds gives us 4000 iron. And you know, I have a crafter with 2 philosopher's stones, and it should craft me the iron. Oops, external C. Also remember all the garbage. Another thing is that since yesterday, all the translocators are invisible. Don't really know why. It's not doing it as fast as I was hoping. Because, for example, if I want to have 500,000 iron, can you do that? Well, you can. Is it fast? Not really. You have any idea how many seeds I made? I just needed like 1 stack of iron seeds and everything would have been fine. Don't get me wrong, this is fine, but it's not constant. Well, in any case, let us have our additional pulsating black hole so that it would be off the list. We need oak, because I think, yeah, I have 1.8 million oak. We just have to import it into the system. Maybe a bit faster. A bit more. Yep. Everything is stuck. Okay, for TPS, translocators are horrifying. I replaced some of them with an import bus and we're doing way better. Secondly, I take it back. This iron thingy is amazing. Let's order 500,000 more iron and see how it goes. I mean, it's not bad. This is an amazing speed. Look, it's really good. Thank you for the tip. Although there is a translocator there, which I might have to remove. I have removed the translocator, and I think the key with the emerald thingy is it just has to constantly make iron. Yeah, now that the applied energy 6 has warmed up, this is a decent rate. Very decent. I like that. Also, lag seems to have gone away. In any case, let us make the additional pulsating black holes so that it's no longer on the list. In other news, I have noticed that our fisher has been very productive. We did manage to find Mystical Enlightenment, and I forgot where it was. Yes, this is not the most amazing book, but it's the only one that we have. We just need to make a decent sword, which I think we go with Supremium, and you have to make patterns for every single part. Oh my goodness. A ton of patterns later, and we can have our Supremium sword. Perfect. Which means we can have our Mystical Enlightenment and a bunch of end crystals. Let us kill the stupid dragon. Again. We should be able to damage her with our bow, but the last hit should be with our Supremium sword. So that we get something called the Cognizant Dust. Don't die. Don't... Oops. He died. Well, she died. Maybe I should have done that with the Wither. Come on, die. I guess this has to be done in the old-fashioned way of just hitting her with the sword. Yeah, maybe just a bit with the bow. Thank you. We have 10 and 2 hearts. Oh, I killed 2 of them. Okay. I keep killing her by accident. In the past, there used to be a method that you would hold the sword with looting in your hand and you would shoot a gas and the looting would apply. Is it the same with Cognizant Dust? Because then it will be faster. It's not. Okay, it's fine. I'll do Withers. The Ender Dragon animation takes long. Oh, Withers give you less. And also a ton of garbage. The thing is, we need some Cognizant Dust in order to make the Awakened Supremium Furnace in order to make the Philosopher's Stone. So the question would be, how many do we need? Okay, 4 Cognizant Dust gives you a block of Awakened Supremium block. I'll do the dragon. I'll be careful. And maybe also the Wither while she spawns. See you in a bit. I gathered 124 Cognizant Dust, and I think that's going to be enough for the moment. Let us see what we're going to need in order to awaken some Supremium. So we need Soulstone, which comes from an igneous extruder from Solium block. I have been sifting some soul sand, and apparently that's how you would get Solium. Somebody is importing things into the system, and I don't know where it's putting it. Yeah, that stupid thing is entangled to something, and I don't know where it goes. Seriously, I can't find it. Okay, try to catch it really fast. Somehow. Come on, I think it's getting late, and my AE2 is not being smart enough. It couldn't do this recipe for some reason. I got 64. That's all we need. I think. So down here we do have a few igneous extruders, making us a bunch of items. And I think if we replace the witch water with some jewel water, yeah, you give me soulstone. Perfect. So we need 4 vessels, 4 pedestals, and the stupid altar. We're done. So I have put a block of redstone underneath the altar. We shall have the pedestals and the vessels like so. And at this very moment, this is the maximum automation that we're going to have for it. You know, a chest for the essences, a pipe with some upgrades, which goes into the vessel. Yeah, that seems to work. All the vessels have the essence. The rest is Cognizant Dust and Supremium block. We can have 20 blocks, right? Yeah, actually we can have 30. That's a good number. I made 16 blocks of Awakened Supremium. I'm not sure if it's enough, but let's check. So we want 10 Awakened Supremium furnaces. That means we need 20 Awakened Gems. We can manage that. And 20 ingots. We can manage that one too. Now all we need is 10 Supremium furnaces, which we can manage that one as well. That was fast. You know, before we started, I thought this was going to be the hardest part, but I'm assuming this was not. There should be something painful down the line. We have the 10 furnaces. What else do we need? Basically a lot of furnaces. The Diorum block should be relatively easy. We already have the ingots on auto crafting. I have a pattern for the Insanium coal, so there you go. And here are the blocks. 10 of them. Eternalis fuel is something that we have. We need these 2. Rainbow furnace and the Ender generator. Oh my goodness, another rabbit hole. Okay, I make patterns. I have set in the patterns and I just bought some flowers for making dyes. Let's see if we can make the furnaces. We can. So craft it. Here is also the Ender generator. That was super fast. And we're missing 3 items. Good. We are missing 3 things. Sentient Ender, Heat Core, which I have no idea what it is, and the Ring of Arcana from Project E. In order to make the Sentient Ender, we need some Enderman head. Hence, I'm in the end. Hopefully we can just cheese it and I don't need to make a farm. That's enough, right? Yeah. Let's go home. So if you guys remember, I had a mob masher down there with some beheading upgrades. That should work. Did I get a head? No. How do you get a head? We're not getting heads. Is the thing. You have beheading. The Ender. The short from Ender IO. This item is currently only used to get mob hits. Let's see if they drop any hits. No hits. I have killed a bunch of Endermen and so far no hits. Yeah, also they are very loud, so I turned it off. Ah, we got a head. Yes. So it does work. One of the things that might help is going to be looting. A slight problem that I have is that my looting is not great, warpole is not great, the chances of getting an Enderman head is not great. The worst part of it is I also have knockback on my sword, so this is my new strategy. Look at them. I just make all of them angry. And then kill them all. I do have the 10 Enderman head, so here's our Ender Resonator. It should be crafted. But the Ender Resonator is not the only thing that we need. We also need some witches. 10 of them to be exact. And I do have plenty of chickens. So Ender Resonators, a witch, and I have 10 spawn eggs. So we're good. You have a bag. Yes, yes, yes. Go into the soul vials. Stop poisoning stuff. But yeah, Sentient Ender. We're doing good. Also, how the hell are you getting the experience? I'm just curious. Did I just fill it in once and it's holding the experience? Yeah, that's probably it. And we were out of experience, so I had to use the obelisk. So that is our Sentient Ender. Now we need the Ring of Arcana. I'm not gonna set up a pattern for it. Let's just craft it. I guess it will be done manually. There's no cheaty recipe, right? No, I need 50 red matter. That's a lot. We shall order it anyways. Does seem that I was faster than applied energy 6. I already made all the rings. Okay, so we can have 10 rings of Arcana. Exactly. I made an extra one. We have 10 rings of Arcana. I'm not picky. So for the Philosopher Fuel, we're just missing this thing. The Heat Core. Well, this is from Forcecraft, and I'm not really sure how everything works, but let's see if we can figure it out. We need the Force Rod. So, like that. Okay, that's a quest. That gives us the Force Infuser. Okay. And what do we do? Well, let's follow the JEI. We just need something called a force log, which I'm assuming there is a sapling as well. Yes, there is. Does it grow? Yes, it does. You see, force craft is easy, and you get more saplings. So if we cook it, we get some sort of a coal. Yeah, golden power source, which we need it in order to make the heat core, and we need an upgrade core. Oh boy. Well, first things first, let us make the force stick, so that I can make a better force rod. This one has a durability of 75. Since we need 10 heat cores, let's get the rest of the coal. We have some bottles of enchanting, that's perfect. And we have thousands of books. So my dearest force thingy, how do you work? That's not how you work. Well, you can add force gems in order to get some liquid force. Oh, this has tears. Uh-oh. Help. Since I have to read the quest. You need an upgrade dome. Okay, let's get a bunch. You go in. I have been reading, and well, once you insert the upgrade tome inside, you would be able to require assistance. You can read stuff. And apparently the force infuser, based on the upgrade tome that it has inside, has a tier. You might notice that we're at tier 0, 1 out of 2. That is because I have already performed a ritual. Basically what I did is that you have to look at the recipes, and you have to find rituals which are tier 0. For example, this one. Once you do all the rituals for a tier, you can upgrade to the next tier. And in order to do the second ritual, for getting to tier 1, we need a bat wing. So I need to summon a bat and kill it. Don't run away. That was a horrible mistake. I have a bow. Did we get it? No. Not the correct wing. It says if you kill a bat, you should get claw. Am I doing this wrong? Oh, we get one as a reward. Okay. We need a type of force armor and the claw. Then we can infuse it. Yeah, we're still at tier 0. You get force points for applying infusions. Then infuse everything, I guess. I got more claws and we're at tier 1. I upgraded the helmets. Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? And yes, finally, welcome to the Future Past episodes, which in this episode we're going to consume 400 million resources in order to cover the sun in a Dyson cube. Because it's Minecraft, everything is a cube. Except for the energy core, which is a sphere. And yes, we're getting 900 million RF. So let's get started. But first things first, we do need a few patterns. Everything is just the basic resources, but what we are going to need are solar sails, and obviously the beams. And since we also want things to work a teeny tiny bit faster, we're going to convert them into packages. One of the most important things that we have to remember is that this is a very slow and tedious process. Lord Tizona agrees. Therefore, what we need to do is that we need to be able to provide the railguns with enough resources at any given time. And thankfully, in order to achieve that, we have the request terminal. We always want 10,000 of each item to be present at our system at the batch sizes of 5,000. And our system is crafting it at incredible speed. If you look at the recipe for the beam as well as the solar sails, everything is crafting except glass. That is a processing pattern, and unfortunately, that takes time. So even though I'm not a fan, we're going to upgrade the furnaces to all-demodium. It's going to work a bit faster, I think. But just in case, I have ordered a medium glass. We already made 75,000 of it. It should be done in 10 minutes. That was the crafting part, but now we come to the actual phase. Assembling the Dyson sphere. For that, we're going to use half a stack of railguns. Each one of them is a 3x3 multi-block, and it should fit in within 2 chunks. Half a stack of them. And you might notice, all of them are facing the sun. So now that we have the railguns, what do we do? Good question. See you in the next episode. They do require 2 things. Energy and the resources that we have just auto-crafted. Energy is optional, but if you provide it to the railguns, they're... Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today?
2 years ago, I made 2 iceberg videos about Roblox horror games, a genre that's always fascinated me. How can this goofy little Lego game be used to... Since Roblox's inception, the idea of Roblox horror games has changed quite a bit. Even since the last iceberg, the genre had changed a lot. Today, we're diving back into the deepest depths of the Roblox horror game rabbit hole with an iceberg including 126 entries. Before we get to tier 1 though, there's 3 things that I have to get out of the way. Some games featured in the iceberg stray out of the horror genre, and more into the categories of surreal or slightly spooky showcases and myth games, but they'll all be included under one umbrella category of Roblox horror games. I don't guarantee the quality of these games, nor guarantee that they're scary at all, or fun. This video is only ranked from most popular to least known about. And finally, it's not required to watch the first 2 icebergs, but they both include a lot of notable horror games that are missing here, and some sections may provide further context of what I'm talking about in this video. That being said, let's jump right into... I'll try to keep tier 1 as short as possible because most people have already heard about everything here, but it's all worth mentioning to some degree. In Residence Massacre by Mr. Gamer 67, you and up to 3 extra players try to survive the night while defending yourselves from a creature made by a radioactive spill nearby. You have to find a way to balance out checking cameras, scaring monsters with lights, and the fuel levels for the outside generator. Residence Massacre was one of the fastest growing Roblox horror games of 2023, garnering over 100 million visits in less than 10 months. Weird Strict Dad is another Roblox horror game that had an extremely quick rise to prominence with a very similar concept to Residence Massacre. This time your dad is possessed. After its explosion in popularity, tons of ripoffs started popping up such as Weird Strict Scientist, Weird Strict Boss, and Weird Sauce Grand. Jim's Computer is an old Roblox style horror game created by Grugchamp in 2022. You play as Jim gets a computer, and he becomes increasingly paranoid as he sees more and more reports of disappearances and military intervention in Robloxia, as well as a variety of strange occurrences. At the end, Jim completely boards his house up, buys a censored item that is later revealed to be a gun, and then he gets attacked by a Doors entity.
I don't want to play this game anymore. Bruh, I don't even understand what happened. I think a Doors entity might have attacked us.
I mentioned these 3 horror games in this order because these all fall under the trend of Roblox horror games using a style based on early Roblox, particularly the era of circle studs. This is fairly common in myth games that have some sort of surrealist quality to them. It's been around for a long time, but recently it's become quite overdone. Rainbow Friends is a hugely popular chapter-based Roblox horror game with over 3 billion visits that's been in development since 2021. The main story for the first chapter is that a group of players were meant to go on a field trip, but because of the sign being flipped by this evil dude, they go to an abandoned facility for 5 nights instead and have to complete tasks while running from these colorful friends, I guess. One of the 2 main developers...
Whoa. Sweetie little you, fuck you. I spawned. Go. Forward. Use the right limit. That is diamond block on the top of that. No clock can be used to craft your plants. How many? It's supposed to make a plank, but the spot says no. I'm actually gonna, delete a lot of recipes with Cube.js. Yes, it's something called Cube.js. This is the recipe.
I added the Vietnam War to Minecraft. Our adventure starts when you find a jungle biome. Jungle biomes have these really big trees, so navigating the biome was kind of like navigating a maze. Very commonly, you'll find these jungle dungeons that spawn. They're pretty dangerous though, so we're gonna need some reinforcements. With 3 iron and 1 gunpowder, you can make the chunk blaster. You're able to rob Burger Kings with these, but with some copper, gunpowder, and paper, you can make bullets. And now if you hold down with the chunk blaster, you're able to shoot your bullets. It does a fine amount of damage, about as much as you'd expect a crappy gun to do, but we can make something better. With 5 iron and a gold, we can make the chunk burster. The chunk burster shoots a 3-round burst, a lot faster than the chunk blaster shoots. It has a lot better DPS, but we can get something even better. If you get access to tungsten, you can use 2 tungsten and 3 iron to make a chunk eruptor. The eruptor works as a shotgun. Right click, and you shoot a giant cluster of shots, enough to insta-kill spiders, so it's really good. You can tell it costs the tungsten. With our newfound gear, we can go back.
Also, you can do this.
I added the entirety of Planet Earth in my Minecraft mod, among other things. Starting off, there's some new gadgets we can craft. With an iron ingot, 2 bronze ingots, 2 complex electronics, and 2 nuggets, we can make a robot arm. This is just used for some crafting stuff. Like it's used in the canning machine, but it's also used in a new machine, the electric mixer. Now the mixer is an electric version of the stone mixer I added last update, but this one uses energy instead of manual cooking. I also added a ton of new mixer recipes. For example, if you add in all 4 raw meats, and you wait a while, side note, I animated the front, I'm proud of it, and you get 6 mystery meat instead of the usual, 2 you would have gotten. So yeah, it can be used for a bunch of things, more efficient ratio, stuff like that. Pretty cool. Next, let's talk about the new squirrel mob. These guys are an early game food source. They're extremely weak and spawn commonly in all forest biomes. They drop raw squirrel, which can be made into mystery meat like so, and it can be smelted for cooked squirrel. A chainsaw can be crafted like so, and what the chainsaw does is if you break a tree with it, it cuts down the whole thing. So yeah, a really fast tree capitator. I'm actually gonna change the recipe so it's more expensive, but, I'll do that later. I don't feel like it right now. I really gotta get this video out. With this new crafting component known as a strong rotor, which is crafted by surrounding a regular rotor with tungsten, you can make some special things. First of all, you can make a centrifuge casing, and you can make a regular centrifuge. The centrifuge is used for automatic and more efficient sieving. So if I place the casing, the centrifuge, and another casing on top, it's now functional. So this is another multi-block as well. But yeah, simply give the centrifuge some energy. You can see if I put some gravel inside, it'll start centrifuging. And that first gravel gave me 5 tiny copper piles. And if I have 9 piles, that could be something special. You can see I got 6 more copper piles, I got some zinc, I got some flint. There's a ton of stuff you can get from gravel. And now I put these piles in a crafting table to get a dust with 9 of them. And then I can smelt that into an ingot. So yeah, quick and painless ore collection. You can see I got some gold here, that's pretty rare. It doesn't stop there though, you can use silt and dark silt, as well as sand. Sand gives you the same stuff as gravel, but silt gives you some better stuff. Since you find the stuff in deep slate, you can see I got way more copper, got some iron, and there's also some other ores that are exclusive to this, like neodymium. We can get neodymium from this thing. And tungsten. This is a pretty good way to get it, but you need a lot of tungsten to make this thing, of course. And now if I put dark silt in here, since that's the highest tier gravel, you can see I get tungsten pretty often. You can also get sulfur, as well as glowstone, and neodymium. 28 iron piles just from 1. You can also get palladium from here, but I haven't got it yet, but yeah, you're just gonna have to trust me. So yeah, that's the centrifuge. Good way to collect a bunch of ores out of your gravel. Now let's talk about the planet stuff. Before we get there, we're gonna need a lot of kunk related stuff. Yes, I massively improved the way kunk is dealt with in this mod. Now if you don't know, kunk is some mythical compound element thing, whatever, that I added to my mod. And it's been in the game for 9 months, but I massively improved it recently. Now if you want to make a kunk modifier, you need this new material known as blunz. Blunz is an alloy of lapis and bronze. So how do we get it? Well, first of all, we can make bronze dust with copper and tin to get 4. And then we're also going to need to put lapis into a crusher to get some lapis dust. Now these are the 2 things we needed. With a bronze dust and 3 lapis dust, you get 2 blunz dust. And now we can simply just smelt it to get a blunz ingot. I'm going to use a foundry though because I'm in creative mode. Boom, we got our blunz. And now we can craft the modifier. Now in case you don't remember, this is how the modifier works. You got to place kunk in this slot, and then after you wait a little while, it'll either evolve or devolve. As you can see, we're going to get cloudy kunk. That's really good. Now what happens if I put cloudy kunk into this one? Clean kunk is what I want. No, it devolved into greasy. Not what I wanted. What about this one? Will this one give me something good? Hoping it does. Gonna need it to the video. It didn't. It devolved. That's okay because I'm creative like I said. Now let's say we get our clean kunk. We can do way better than clean kunk because we need higher levels if we want to do the planet stuff. But to get higher levels, we need a kunk aggregator, and for that we need grass. Now you get grass with brass and through a new crop. If you dig wild bushes, you might come across these mundane spores, and these are what we need to grow to get our grass. Plant them down and give them tons of fertilizer. These are what fully grown spores look like. Punch them. And you get unhinged spores. We can devolve these with poop to get mundane spores again, but we actually want to crush these, because when we do, you'll find we get something special. Spore dust. Contains magical and unhinged properties, kind of like how the lapis contains the element of surprise. Now let's just make some brass made like this. And then with 2 brass and 2 spore, we get grass. And now we just gotta smelt it. Now we have the kunk aggregator. I'm not gonna get into that because I'm probably gonna overhaul it in an upcoming update. We'll see. I don't like how the kunk aggregator works now. Now before we get to the planet stuff, I want to talk about the other stuff kunk can be used for in this update, just because it kind of makes the most sense to put it in this part of the video, just because of how I added stuff. So let's start with a new block, the kunk loader, suggested by this person. Now, the kunk loader is a massive revolution in my mod. It's definitely honestly one of my favorite blocks that I added recently. You just gotta place it down, make sure you take note of what chunk you put it in. Now if you look inside, it says it requires kunk, and you can only give it one of the 3 highest levels, either pure, intelligent, or immaculate. And if you put it in, you can see kunk is added, and it starts making these particles all over the place. It also turned green and gives off light. I'm not gonna do that. Different levels of kunk will give you more kunk in the thing, by the way. Immaculate gives you the most. It gives you a ton. And now this chunk is gonna stay loaded. Yes, the kunk loader is literally just a chunk loader for my mod. It should prove useful. Every single kunk you have in the machine gives you 1 second of loading time. So it's gonna be loaded for many, many Minecraft days because of all the immaculate kunk that I gave it. Pretty cool. Now if I were to leave and explore, do something else, everything in that chunk will stay loaded, so my crops will grow, my machines will work, stuff like that. Now you need a lot of kunk to keep that thing running, kinda. But mining it, honestly, kinda takes a while, let's be honest with ourselves. It's pretty rare. But now there's a better way to get kunk. Because with an iron grate and 5 tungsten, you get the kunk tray. And if I put it in this slot of the modifier and then I let the modifier run, you see we get something new after an operation. Kunk gunk. Now we need 9 of these to do what's next. With 9 kunk gunk, you can get gunk. And now you want to craft this new block, the Kunk Enricher, with a brewing stand, super machine block, and some other crap. Place it down and give it energy. But energy is not all it needs. You can see it says it requires something. And now there's a few items it could require. See, it needs sugar right now, and if I give it sugar, I get a little bit of mass, but now I need gold dust. But in the gold dust, now I need obsidian? That's right. It requires a bunch of items to actually get producing. It picks about like 9 items from a pool. But yeah, now that it has energy and mass, I can give this thing gunk, and then after a little while, we get some tarnished Kunk back. So yeah, we can get infinite Kunk this way. Because it's worth noting, if you make an infinite loop of evolving and devolving Kunk, you'll just get unlimited Kunk and in turn unlimited Kunk. Pretty sweet for all you Kunk enthusiasts out there. Okay, let's finally talk about that planet stuff. This is what we needed the Kunk for. First, we want 2 clean Kunk like this, an immaculate Kunk, an intelligent Kunk, and 2 pure Kunk. And we get the Bohemian. Now hold on to this little guy, he'll be important later. We have to actually make our tiny Earth now. Now here's the recipe for it. You need water, grass, saltpeter, a tree, and you need this thing in the middle, the barren planet. And to get a barren planet, you need mantle nuggets and a planet core. A mantle nugget is made by compressing 3 super compressed cobblestone, and a planet core is from 4 super compressed cobblestone, 4 lava, and a nether star. So yeah, this is post-wither. But long story short, once we have the thing, we can do a lot. Allow me to explain. We just have to put our Bohemian in there, and you can see it starts giving us stuff. It collects stuff from the tiny Earth because you know it lives here now. Although every ticket's alive, it's gonna lose durability. And when it runs out of durability, you lose it. So essentially, it like dies of old age. And you can see it's giving us stuff. We got some poop, we got some rocks, pretty honestly basic stuff. We can do better. So allow me to make a few Bohemians first. I want 2 more. Now there's a slot next to the Bohemians. That's very important. And there's many ways we can utilize it. For example, if I were to give this guy a diamond axe, you can see he'll make us leaves. Yes, depending on the item you give the Bohemian depends on your drops. So if you give him the tools, he can give you better resources. Here we got some wood from the axe. Very handy. Put those guys to work, you know. And now let's see if I give this one a pickaxe and this one a fishing rod. You see we got some ores. And we got some fish. They're giving us so much cool stuff just from existing. Doesn't stop there. Say I give them a hoe, a shovel, and an athame. And you can see the shovel will give us dirt and sand and other sediments. And the athame will give us gunk and human blood. The hoe can also give us like onions. Lastly, the bucket will give you water, lava, grease, and acid. The compass can give you flowers and some other exploring materials. And the grafter will give you tissue samples. Crazy automation. Absolutely crazy automation. There's so much stuff you can get out of this. Really excited to see what people do with it, especially when like you put the ores into a ore processing setup or use the gunk to get more gunk, cook the fish. There's a lot of options. Really excited. I can't wait for people to play this update. It's been very fun to work on. Now we've checked out a bulk of the update, but I added a bunch of other fun stuff that I think you guys might appreciate. For example, if we crush down some coal, we get coal dust. And if you put coal dust into a hydraulic press, you get carbon fiber plate. And these are really useful for stuff that I added. You'll see. Now let me take a bunch of neodymium and make tons of magnets. We're gonna need a lot of magnets. Now with 2 magnets, 2 carbon fiber, and 2 plastic, we can make magna boots. And in conjunction with that, with some carbon fiber, iron bars, cables, and an intelligent Kunk, we get the Magna Pack. Now there's one more gadget we need. We get Magna Pads. Now that's a lot of stuff. How does it work? This is one of my favorite features in the update as well, so let me just demonstrate. You gotta place down your Magna Pads like so. You know you've done it right if they have some sort of aura like this. And now you have to wear the Magna Boots and the Magna Pack. Look at me looking all snazzy. And now look what happens when I stand on top of this Magna Pad. That's weird. Press space? What? Yeah, that's right. It gives you creative flight. Oh my gosh. As long as you're wearing the pack, the boots, and you're over the pads, you get creative flight in this little area. So useful for building transportation if you want to build a whole row of these. Boss fights, even you can make some sort of arena. It's phenomenal. One of my favorite features. Probably one of the most useful as well. Worth noting, it doesn't work if you're too high above the magnets because then you're out of range. They have about a 20 block range of creative flight. Absolutely insane. Look at me go. I'm just building. And yeah, they work even if there's blocks like under you, by the way. Doesn't matter if there's blocks in between you or what. They'll always work. Like here, let me like cover the terrain below me with them. See, look, there's a ton of them under all the grass. And now I just can fly around here. I can do whatever I want in this giant area. It's amazing. One of my favorite features. It's so sweet. And the particles just look so beautiful. Just my own little spot where I can just play God. Nimble Rod's sold separately, but it's also pretty fun in combination with these magnets. Acetine, Pure Kunk, and Spore Dust have a new use. Yes, I know. It's finally about time acetine gets an actual use. If you combine all their powers, you get the invisibility sheet. Yeah, it disappears. Now these invisibility sheets are used for a new armor set. Let me just give myself a ton of them. And now if I put them in a formation like this, I get the invisibility cloak. And now that doesn't do much on its own, so let's make the trousers, the slippers, and the hood. Now if I put them all on, watch what happens. As long as I'm wearing the whole cloak, I have permanent invisibility without the particle effects. Yes, the one problem with the invisibility effect, gone. It also provides quite a bit of armor. So not only are you protected, you're also completely invisible. This is the ultimate stealth set. There's another use for these robot arms. With 5 robot arms like so and 4 cables, you get the Robot Arm King. Yeah, this is just an amalgamation of robot arms. It's a big cluster of them. This thing seems useless at first until you right click it. One ominous slot stares you down. Say I were to put a block inside. And it starts just placing them. Yes, the Robot Arm King will just randomly place blocks, as long as there's blocks in its inventory. And it doesn't matter what block. Nether war blocks, yeah, those will work. Put a block of Shiso Barrel in there, it should also work. Yep, there it is. Really cool. This is just a fun feature. It's just neat. Not too useful, but pretty cool. I'm sure someone can find some cool stuff for this. I was able to test it, and I know you can get it to like place down half doors and half beds. It's really weird. I'm gonna keep that in the game because it's funny. And you can also do other stuff, like have it place down TNT next to a redstone block, which will activate it. There's a familiar looking icon staring at me. If I pick it up, oh, that's weird. I start running uncontrollably. Yes, the auto runner. It forces you to move in one direction, as well as giving you jump boost, putting your health at half a heart, and basically just turns you into Geometry Dash. Yes, I made this thing so you can play Geometry Dash in Minecraft. Do I even need any more justification? Yeah, the reason it puts you at half a heart, so if you touch a spike, you instantly die. I'll probably make it craftable in survival. I haven't yet, but I probably will. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, join my Discord, follow my Twitter.
In getting more of all of those. A single Oblivion frame early on will save me literal days worth of bee breeding time. Expert Bees is paradoxically almost
all this.
The art of advanced rocketry is split into 3 steps: making a base to build and launch rockets, sending a space station into orbit, and unlocking interstellar travel. Along the way, there will be a few interesting features in outer space to explore, but if not done correctly, everything will go preposterously wrong. And it all begins here. After giving birth to my first tools, I went underground to kidnap some scrumptious resources ranging from copper to titanium, and I decided to not come out until I was extraordinarily plutocratic. After getting an acceptable amount of overworld materials, I took a business vacation to the Nether to get even more substances and cook all my raw materials into the decrepitated necessaries. Now that I had enough basic materials to last a while, I am going to begin industrializing. Upon reappearing into the overworld, I chose this base spot. Not only is this flat enough for capitalism, it also has human resources, and I claimed this area as my own. I then made a generator making power from coal, which powers these simple machines that make metal plates and delicious powder, the foundation of all things capitalism. Now for the easy part, making all these machines. I had to go all in to make them. The electric blast furnace, crystallizer, cutting machine, and precision assembler all go towards making circuits, which will be needed for chemistry. I assembled the electrolyzer and chemical reactor, which can turn 1 bucket of water into 20 buckets of rocket fuel. Notable mention, the rolling machine makes rocket parts, but that was probably not important, I think. Now that the easy part was done, it is time for the moment you have all been waiting for. Building a rocket launch area, and the rocket itself. The launch pad came at a price of 128 squid, but the real challenge is finding a good position for a launch site. A logical person would say to place it on this flat area, but that would mean I have to build a rocket from scratch on top of it. Just southeast of me were pre-built structures that could be transmogrified into rockets. So if we do the math, that means I don't have to build my own rocket, thus saving more shekels. I replaced the ground under the village with launch pads, and placed rocket guidance computers, rocket thrusters, and fuel tanks around the villagers' property to convert it into something suitable for interplanetary travel. Now for the rocket building machine, which will scan and analyze the rocket, and the examination shows that the rocket was too heavy to escape Earth's gravity. So instead of removing some weight, I added 3 times more rocket pendants. Bigger is better, but this is egregiously ineffectual. Spreading them out gives more thrust. To balance this out, I had to add slightly more fuel tanks. Now it is time to combine everything on top of the launch pad into a single rocket ship. Behold, the Apollo 53 uncountable infinity rocket. After fueling it, creating a spacesuit and filling that as well with oxygen. After fueling it, creating a spacesuit and filling that as well with oxygen, and sitting down on the village, I hit launch, and soon enough, I was going nowhere. There was a giant dust storm covering the rocket, but I thought nothing went wrong. But as it turns out, something was wrong. The top part of the fuel tanks were not built into the rocket because the structure tower was not tall enough, so the floating fuel tanks blocked the rocket from going upwards. This was another failure. After fixing the mistake and getting more fuel, I was soon shooting into outer space unprotected from gargantuan amounts of air friction on my skull. But dying is only optional. I was on my way to the moon. After safely landing at 300 miles per hour, I analyzed the current situation. The village rocket was perfectly unscathed, and I will take note of where I landed. I am on the moon to acquire the tangibles known as dilithium, a rare moon crystal needed for interstellar travel. Since it was quite hard to find, I used my naturally excellent vision to find dilithium legitimately. The plot twist is that there is no dilithium here, and that it could be found on Earth this whole time, so that was quite awkward. After my face was burned off on the way down to Earth, I drunkenly wandered off the rocket and noticed something strange. My calculations for landing the rocket were a bit off, leading to me waking up several people at night. But the grind stops for nobody. I went into the mines and got an unnecessarily Falstaffian amount of dilithium, and returned to base to create my space station. To do this, I used dilithium to assemble the space station assembler. Now it is possible to make a grandiloquent, eloquent space station. But that was unnecessary. I converted this singular dirt block into my space station. Next I shaved this house to bring my rocket down, but it was too lazy to obey gravity, so I had to make the rocket jump and fall back down. Finally I could add a satellite bay and load the space station into it. I then deployed the dirt into outer space along with myself. After setting the destination to my space station, I landed safely onto the surprisingly strong dirt. I took one big look around. For some reason I could hear birds out in outer space. Life finds a way. Anyways, time to get back on task. With me I brought along a power generator, supplies, building materials, portable humans, machines from my factory, spare resources, space station tools, and a warp core for interstellar travel. All of which will be used. 1000 has been around since 1536, but after sending the motivational barrel to Infinite Deployer Purgatory in the middle of my desert factory in the middle of the desert, I realized I needed more random digital possessions to prove that I am a replacement inaccessible male and create above and beyond. More specifically, at least 1000 music discs, which I will trade with my loyal infinitely wealthy record collect.
Look at the
I added the crappy gas time travel and the ended dragon to Minecraft. Start by killing the Enlightened One, and the Enlightened One will drop something special. The final theory. If you want to know how to summon the Enlightened One, check out this video. But now there's some other items we need. Use a scalpel to retrieve your own meat, and eat it to get the regretful effect. Eat another one, and you'll poop. And with 4 of these poops, make a poop block. Now you're gonna need to kill some ghasts for their tears. And now with your poop block and 8 ghast tears, you can make the crappy ghast spawn egg. Right click to summon it, and you have a crappy ghast. It's a passive mob that repeatedly craps on the ground, which makes it one of the best renewable sources of poop. But keeping him alive isn't the only thing you can do with him. You can kill him, and you get infected ghast tear. This is one of the most important resources in this new update, and in progression in general. Yes, this is required to complete the mod. With an infected ghast tear and an eye, you can make a sickly crystal. And remember, you get eyes from harvesting hobos' organs. See, I just got one. Set in glass, an eye, and an infected ghast tear. Now the sickly crystal is an interesting item. Right-clicking with it gives all mobs levitation in a nearby area. So you can do this. So it shakes up crystal PvP a little bit. Well, you might be thinking, it's a little unfair how there's no way to prevent this. I mean, if you get the levitation, it's pretty much an instant death. Well, don't worry, I thought of that. With 1 golden ring and 4 tungsten, you get the gravitational stabilization ring. And whenever this ring is in your inventory, it will prevent the levitation effect, although it slowly deteriorates durability. But these sickly crystals are used to make something special. Go look underground for palladium geode. Now a lot more common than previously. And there's 2 ways to get into these things. We all know the acid spewer will do it, but thanks to these last updates, the mahogany tree is actually strong enough to get inside. And now you can mine all the palladium. You also need a drone controller. So the time machine is now a post-alien invasion reward. And since there's a boss links to the time machine, there's actually a new final goal to the mod. There's something to fight after the alien invasion. Anyway, take your dimensional shard, drone controller, 2 sickly crystals, 4 palladium, and the final theory, and you can make the time machine. The time machine got overhauled in this update. It's basically a completely different block. When you place the time machine down, you'll realize it looks a lot different from when we left it. There's 4 options now. You can go to the far past, the present, and the future. But doing that requires different energy levels, so we have to power this thing now. There's a few options for power, like solar panels, generators, and maybe even a homunculus in a box. But if you're like me and can cheat, then use an overpowered solar panel. The overpowered solar panel is a creative mode only item that gives 100 energy per tick instead of 1 energy per tick like the regular panel. Now that we have plenty of energy, there's a lot of areas we can go to. Let's start with the far past. Just click on it. and you'll see you were sent to the far past. Now when you travel between time periods, you're given a time machine to leave, but it's not going to have energy, so make sure you bring solar panels or generators or some way to have energy here. Or else you might get stranded. Now you notice there isn't a lot here. This is an intentionally barren dimension, but one of the good things about the far past is there is so much iron ore. Like, there's a crazy amount of iron ore. It's honestly kind of ridiculous. If you want iron, this is the dimension you should go to. This is also a good spot to find holy blocks. This terrain is just very clear, so it's a good area to find them. During the nighttime, first of all, the sky at night looks really cool. You'll see rock golems start to spawn. Rock golems are the only thing that spawn here, because remember, this is a land before meat. When you kill them, they drop random ores. You can get redstone, copper, diamonds, evil stone, you name it. But yeah, let's get out of here. Now let's visit the future. The future is the final time period. The past is kind of a bonus one that's really expensive to get to. The future is the last one in terms of progression. Let's go. Now you notice when you spawn in, you'll be falling. So make sure you bring something to break your fall. You'll see there's a weird thing in the sky. We'll get to that later. Now notice what the ground under you is made out of. Break it. It's chromium oxide. Because we all know everything in the future is made out of chrome. This chromium oxide will be relevant in a future update, but for now, hold on to it. It's going to be used for some late game gear, like a late game, like really late game. Now the future generates similar to the End Islands. In fact, this is kind of like a remixed End Dimension. You'll see we spawn on the giant central island, and then 1,000 blocks away, there's a ring of outer islands around it. But anyhow, it's time we address this thing in the middle. Hopefully you brought blocks to pillar up with. Now this is the Nexus of Autism. And you'll see inside the Nexus, there's signs on this metal box warning you not to open it. Now the reason you shouldn't open this is because it will release the last boss in the mod, or at least the last boss right now. I recommend bringing pretty good gear to the fight, especially good armor, especially good weapons. Since this is post-alien invasion, I would definitely recommend bringing technology armor as it's the best in the mod. And you should also get a good sword if you can help it. The Moronic Decimator is a great candidate, it does 20 attack damage. Also bringing a Chunk Eruptor is a good choice because it just does a lot of damage. It's a shotgun. But yeah, it's time to get prepared for the fight. Remember that tech armor lets you shoot lasers, as long as you're sneaking with an empty hand. But now it's time to summon the boss, and be careful because breaking this will destroy the entire Nexus of Autism. So do it from kind of far away. But now it's time to release this boss. The Ended Dragon. Let me take off my helmet because it gives 4D vision, which makes the dragon weird looking. The Ended Dragon. Now you can make up whatever lore implications you want, but pretty much this dragon doesn't have wings, so it can't fly, but it does have pretty strong legs, so it will run fast, and this giant incision in the bottom of it will let it shoot out embryos that will explode on you. So now it's time to try and kill it. There it is, already shooting at me. Should be pretty easy as long as you have good weapons. This armor is really good. This boss is quite the armor destroyer, though. Also, to make matters worse, I'm gonna buff this a lot more, so just be ready. And yeah, if you think you can get around this without a ranged weapon, you're mistaken. You definitely need one. These lasers are so getting nerfed. Yeah, let's go up and get him. Let's get a melee since he's so low. We killed him. The Ended Dragon is dead. Now the Ended Dragon is gonna drop something that's gonna be relevant in the next update. Yeah, that's how I keep you guys watching. Hell yeah. I added the Freemasons to Minecraft's most unhinged mod. When you spawn in a world, it might be hard to tell what you're supposed to do, but the guidebook isn't very useful. Well, if you shift right click, you get an actually useful version of the book. You can type in a number, and you'll get a fact about progression. And it's in order. So hopefully this should make it easier to figure out what you're supposed to do and how survivors work. Cities are no longer the safest biome in the mod because of these new enemies. Thieves and gangsters will spawn extremely frequently in city biomes. They'll always be there to attack you and shoot at you and completely screw you over. They also have like a ton of health, like a ton of health. There is
Okay. Hi, welcome. Custom command for real. Yeah, typings. We're gonna pause. We're gonna pause. This one patchouli. We have more animals. Magic, cause fuck you. Hita, which is actually when you stop. And this is a beetle
What?
Minecraft FD, and it's called table. Which now has a recipe. I'll put Minecraft. Oh, blank. Right here. UKS here. So it's gonna delete this. It's gonna delete Minecraft slash blanks. Yeah, I deleted. I think I deleted every recipe for planks. Honest, you know. Sub recipe is fine. Cutting average. We gotta wait.
Is a way to save yourself, however, from these new threats. But it only works if you're going down the landlord branch of progression. If you don't know, there's two ways you can play this mod. You can play normally or you can play as a landlord. And if you want to protect yourself from city threats, you have to be a landlord. Let's start by visiting a building. And you can see there's the rent block in here. We can input $100 to buy the apartment, and then we can rent it to tenants and get money. Then we're a landlord. So let me start by buying an apartment. The next thing we gotta do is keep an eye out for a new structure. This new structure is as common as the public library, but it's a little bit smaller. The Landmason Lodge. The Landmasons are a guild of wealthy landlords. They've come together, create a coalition, and they protect each other from the urban threats. Those urban threats being hoodlums, rapscallions, thieves, gangsters, robbers, crooks, stuff like that. If you right-click on their altar, you can join the Landmasons. If you input $100, which is as much as an apartment, you'll be given the Landmason card. Now this thing is gonna make our lives in the city
There's something called blue shows. Oh shit. Putting iPhone. This is okay. So if we look at the recipe for plank, it's the works. Oh, we have poison. Nice, these guys. you look at the crafting table recipe, I deleted it. Now this is a Galactic version, which Galactic love progression. Go away. It should actually delete. Guess that you can't even craft a single plank. Okay, so it's just scratch week here. Yeah, don't mind. Lags a lot. I have a wait, is that hot coal? August? Oh.
Is significantly easier. You'll notice now that it's nighttime, we don't really see any thieves or gangsters anywhere. That's because as long as we have the card, they functionally don't exist. You see, it automatically despawns any thieves or gangsters that are near you. So once you have the Land Mason card, you pretty much have nothing to worry about in a city biome. The city biome is back to what it was before this update. And yes, it doesn't kill hobos, so you can still sell drugs if you want. Although you will notice something. It loses durability every tick, and it has 24,000 durability. This means that it'll break after a day of having it. Once it breaks, obviously you can't use it anymore. But you can recharge it. You see, the reason why we bought an apartment earlier, because if we right-click a tenant block with the card, it gets repaired. We renewed it, because you can only be a Land Mason if you are a landlord. But you have to verify that you're a landlord every single day you have the card. Also worth noting, you can't just buy one and have the card forever, because if I keep repairing it, after 5 times it'll say you can't use it anymore. Now it's no longer usable. This means we have to buy another apartment to renew again. And now I can renew it as much as I want. And by as much as I want, I mean 5 more times until I have to buy a new apartment. So yeah, it gets expensive to keep, but that's the price you gotta pay. It's pretty.
Well,
I added the free card. Also worth noting, new boss. To summon this new boss, you have to craft a suspicious looking disc. And you craft it like this. The reason why it's like that is because this is from a mod that I made a while ago. And if you don't know, I'm trying to add everything I made in my previous mods to this mod, which is why things like this are getting added. But yeah, once you have the suspicious looking disc, you can summon the new boss. This boss isn't needed for progression, but it is an optional thing to anyone who might want it or it drops. Right click to summon, similar to the enlightened one. The jukebox mimic. The jukebox mimic shoots music notes at you. Pretty easy, but he also chases you down slowly. These music notes have a lot of knockback, so going melee isn't honestly the best strategy. Yeah, this boss is pretty difficult. Getting beetle armor is not a bad idea for this. This is a very, very, very optional challenge. Most I don't recommend doing it. At least doing it the way I'm doing it, which is kind of just trying to slash it with my sword, which clearly isn't working. Once you kill it, it drops a random music disc, and there's a lot of discs it could be. So if you're trying to collect every disc in the game, this isn't a bad way to get them. Now let's talk about the new enemies. All these enemies will spawn at night, semi-rarely, and a few will spawn in select biomes. Let's start with the Sturdy. The Sturdy will spawn in most biomes at nighttime, and it's pretty rare. It'll chase you down slowly, but notice I can't actually damage it with my sword, and arrows are no use. This is because this enemy can't be attacked with ranged or melee attacks. You have to kill it with fall damage, TNT, fire, poison, stuff like that. So I'm gonna see if I can get it in a hole, and then I'll just put TNT on it. There you go. Now it should be pretty easy to kill, because he's actually pretty weak besides those defenses. Never mind, that didn't kill him. That's surprising. Alright, I'll burn you then. I promise he doesn't have that much health. When you break his armor, he turns into a shadow creature, which is pretty weak. Shadow creatures can drop gel, coal, and echo shards. Next on the list, the brown spider. The brown spider will poison you if it touches you, and it will just leap you like a regular spider. It also can't climb walls. Next is brittle bones. Brittle bones is like a regular skeleton, but it actually won't shoot at you. It'll try and do melee attacks. And if you punch it, it'll shoot bones in all directions that have a lot of knockback. Kinda dangerous, not that hard. It's honestly like the homunculus if it wasn't a boss. At least in the sense that it has the same attack. And when you kill it, it drops weak bones, which can be turned into 2 bone meal. Next is the gift. This isn't an enemy on its own, it's actually a present for you guys. Next is the tropical arthropod. This is the same as the brown spider, but it's faster and it will jump at you. It only spawns in jungle biomes and others. Meet the frenzied livestock. It's an infected cow that will try running at you to kill you, and it explodes into locusts when it dies. I should mention locusts are also a new enemy coming in this update. This is the leper. The leper is a weaker zombie, but when it's damaged, it summons rotten chunks, which will jump at you. Rotten chunks are just silverfish that jump at you, and they don't go in blocks. Relatively easy to kill. The lepers can drop brown mushrooms and other stuff. This is the doppelganger. The doppelganger only has 1 HP, but it runs really fast, and it instantly kills you. That's right, it does 999 damage. So I would advise killing this thing whenever you see it. Luckily, they're weak and they make wither noises, so they're really loud. They're also extremely rare. They explode into locusts and drop sodium when they die. Meet the Defender. The Defender summons defense blocks around it to protect itself and to make your life harder. These blocks destroy after 2 seconds and can be broken pretty fast, but they can definitely trip you up. When the Defender is killed, it can drop a defense rod or defender blocks. Defender blocks are just the blocks that it spawns in. You know, they disappear after a few seconds. Don't know why you would, like, seek these out, but I guess they are kind of cool. Also, the defenders create a lot of ghost blocks. I don't know how to fix that, so just a fair warning. The defenders also drop defense rods, which let you place blocks mid-air that you can build off of. You can also do goofy shenanigans like this. I'm literally just using the scaffold hack, but legitimately. One of my favorite items to mess with in creative, I'm not gonna lie. That purple thing over there is the gateway. The gateway is a flying mob that spawns other mobs. You can see it spawns lepers, skeletons, slimes, and silverfish. They're pretty easy to kill, but you actually can't kill them with melee attacks. You have to shoot an arrow through the gateway so that way they die. And you can see it dropped a lot of stuff. What did it drop? String, spider eyes, more string. That's pretty terrible, but it can also give you other stuff like dimensional shards, which are normally pretty rare. Remember the Ended Dragon? Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, the Ended Dragon has some new loot. So that way, instead of just being the final boss, it actually drops something good. Also, it's not going to be the final boss for much longer because I want to add more stuff after it. Here we go. New stuff. We got raw dragon meat and dragon scale. Similar to beetle scales, you can craft armor with the dragon scales. Let's take off that old beetle armor. Let's put on that new dragon armor. Dragon armor provides very high defense and knockback resistance, but it also has a set bonus. If I shift with an empty hand, I shoot explosive charges. Terraforming has never been easier. Now, dragon meat can be cooked, and dragon meat is just really good food. Like, gives you a lot of hunger, a lot of saturation. Pretty good. But yeah, that's all the items coming in this update. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, join my Discord, follow my Twitter, play industrial basis, subscribe to my second channel, visit my website. If you want to suggest features, suggest them in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.
Ja, je gaat make opening. Afsluit mijn vlogs. It should have been just deleted. This is still reloaded.
Noël approche à grands pas, un moment où chacun rêve de quelque chose d'unique.
Oh yeah.
I added so much in my Minecraft mod, I don't even know what to title this video. There's a weird new structure that spawns around the world. This is the object. The object can spawn in most biomes. It looks like this. It also glows in the dark. But yeah, when the object is loaded, it slowly starts growing out. It also randomly explodes and it spawns vexes, so be careful when you're around here. There's one over there. Randomly around the object though, you'll find this block. And when you break this block with an iron pickaxe or more, you get a bunch of treasure. So yeah, if you want some pretty good loot for like really early game at least, I would go here. Worth noting, the treasure blocks can give you the auto runner item, so just keep that in mind or else you're gonna go into geometry dash mode. And yeah, you can see it's only been like 5 minutes and this place is growing out pretty far. So beware. There's a new item called the weight. Crafted with 6 bronze and an iron. And you right click with the weight, you get the sweaty and the tired effect. And when the tired effect expires, you get strength for a while. So yeah, temporary debuffs for some strength afterwards. Also, for some reason it gives me this weird error when I try and clear my strength after that, so if anyone knows why, let me know. When you cook items with a high melting point like tungsten and platinum, when you cook ores with a high melting point like palladium and tungsten, you get scalding ingots instead of regular ones. And these will burn you when they're in your inventory, and they can't be used to craft anything. So if we want to make these ingots usable, we need a freezer, which is crafted like this. Place it down, and if you want to make the temperature drop, you have to give it ice in the bottom slot, or you can put liquid nitrogen on top of the thing. But if the freezer doesn't have energy, it'll start losing temp afterward. So giving it energy isn't the worst idea, and it'll also build up more temperature when it has energy for it. But yeah, now if I put my scalding ingots in there and I wait a little bit, you can see I'll get regular ingots now they're cooled. And then these can be used for all the stuff that they're used for, so that's cool. It's worth noting that I overhauled the circuit progression. As you might know, circuits are needed to make most machines, but now there's 3 tiers of circuits, which can all be used for different stuff. And I overhauled how they're crafted. The circuit sandwicher is no longer required to make circuits. To make a basic electronic, we need 2 copper to make the circuit board, and then we need 6 cable, a redstone, and a silicon like this. And the basic electronic is just the complex electronic, just renamed and retextured. But then with 2 plastic, you get the complex circuit board, and then that is required to make complex electronics. So this is a new item that's been moved to tier 2. These can be used for like the pump, chemical creator, chainsaw, stuff like that. Stuff we'll go over later. But then to make the smart electronic, we need something special. Deep underground, you might find a new ore. This is gallium, and it behaves a little weirdly when mined. Yes, it's a liquid when it's mined. So I need a bucket to pick it up, and now I have gallium bucket. So I'm gonna grab a bunch of this gallium because we need it for some crafting. Now back at the surface. Now the gallium has to be put into a capsule. I haven't made capsules. I'm going to at some point. Sorry. But yeah, pretty much now with the gallium capsules, you have to freeze them. And only after they're frozen will you get the gallium ingot, which is what we needed. And now we can turn this into gallium nugget. Now to make the smart electronic, which is the final tier, we need 2 plastic, a glowstone, and silicon to make the circuit board. And now we need gold, neodymium, complex electronics, and gallium nuggets. And now we have the smart electronic, which this isn't used for much yet, but I'm gonna give it more uses, of course. But now let's talk about some of the fun uses for these new circuits. With a black hole, unfamiliar metal, alien tech, and some other blocks, you can make the strange attractor, which is like an upgraded magnet, suggested by this person. Place place it down, and not only does it require redstone to work like the regular magnet, but we also have to give this thing energy, like so. But now if I flick it, you can see it teleports entities to the magnet. So yeah, it's literally just an upgraded magnet that teleports mobs as well as items. Also with the basic electronics and cables and plastic, we can make the exercise wheel, which is used with the tiny earth from last update. And if you give it to a bohemian, the earth will start making energy. And boom, you can see we just made 210 energy. So yes, using the exercise wheel, you can make energy with the earth. This isn't really like circuit related, but you can extract the starch out of potatoes. And with 2 starch and a water bucket, we can make oobleck. I just realized there's a bucket duplication glitch there, so gonna need to patch that. Not like a 92, it literally is one. But pretty much what that means is it's solid when force is applied to it, but it's liquid at other times. And I made sure to make it function that way in Minecraft. If I let the oobleck loose, you can see it just moves down like a regular liquid. But if I walk on it, it solidifies. Same thing with like items and other entities, which is why it hardened randomly when I placed it down. It's because it kicked up a bunch of bushes and it spawned seeds and stuff. But yeah, this is just a new thing. I just added this for fun. It doesn't really do much. I have no clue how this would be useful in any capacity, but it is just cool, you know? Now we all know about the regular sawmill, but what's inside you get planks because you can't craft them normally anymore. But a new sawmill can be made like this, the electric sawmill. And it's pretty similar to the regular sawmill, but with a few key differences. When it's placing given energy, we can put in logs into this slot. You can see the time starts going down, and it gives us 6 planks. It gives us more planks than normal. And it also gives us a bonus stick every operation. And also look at this beautiful animated texture that I made. Also worth noting, there's a new thing we can make with obsidian related to the sawmill. If you put obsidian in the sawmill, you get obsidian glass, because you know obsidian in real life is just glass, so I figured we should be able to make it into like transparent glass by like cutting it. Made more sense in my head, but yeah, this is just glass that's as strong as obsidian, so it's transparent, but it's also like impervious to explosions. I just think it's cool. I also made it kind of look like the reinforced glass from IC2. I added a really weird bow to my mod. This thing doesn't even have a crafting recipe yet. I'm gonna need to give it one. But yeah, meet the skip bow. And it uses these bolts as a projectile, which are crafted like this. And just watch what happens when I shoot it. Make sure to pay attention. Goodbye. Yeah, I don't really know what I was thinking when I made this, but it's basically just a bow and the projectile skips midair every time it's shot. So like if I shoot a bolt down there, you can see it boost itself. I just thought it was cool. It honestly was cooler in my head, but the projectiles do a lot of damage. I feel like the skipping doesn't really help. I'm gonna need to think this through, to be honest, but I mean, it's kind of cool. Let's be honest with ourselves. This is what we all subscribe for, right? I bet it is. Bye, Bolty. Oh, there it goes. Into the air. Yeah, they keep going in that direction. I think it's just because I messed something up in the code. Yeah, expect this to change when I actually release the update. I'm gonna have to fix a lot of bugs, because this update's been in the works for a while, and I actually had a lot more planned for it, but I ran out of time, so I'm just gonna need to release it early. I don't really care, because this mod is still in beta, so I don't really care that much about the quality of updates. They're all over the place. You can just tell with how empty the malaria update was compared to stuff like this and like the jungle update. There's not a lot of quality control. Want to talk about oil? Let's talk about oil. Yeah, I finally added oil to my mod, suggested by all these people. A lot of you guys wanted this one for some reason. But yeah, let me go find an oil deposit. This one over here is perfect. But yeah, if you're randomly exploring your world, you might see some black gold spilling out of the ground. And this stuff can be used for a lot of shenanigans if you know what to do. The oil can be scooped up with a bucket, like so. But there is better ways to collect the stuff by using a pump. Yes, there's finally fluid pumps in my mod. I'm so excited about this. But yeah, place down the pump near your oil, and it also works with any other liquid in the game, I should probably mention. So it works with water, lava, pee, all that stuff. I hear a ruckus. I'm not having that in my video. But yeah, if I give the pump energy, and then I put capsules in this bottom slot, and I wait a while, it might take a bit. You can see after a little bit of time. Oh, it just did it. I don't know if you, there it is. It's sucking up the lava. Not the lava, the oil. And we're getting oil capsules in the pump. So now we can just take these and do whatever we want with them. It's amazing. It's sucking up the whole thing. And there's a lot more oil beneath this deposit too, worth mentioning. So yeah, you're gonna get your oil's worth if you make this thing. And now we can use the oil for all types of chicanery because of a new block. Meet the refinery. This is a new block, and the way it works is kind of different to a lot of machines. Mostly because the refinery uses one item, which is the oil capsule, to get 3 different things. The way that works is with heat. So I need to break and replace this thing. So pretty much when I place this down and give it energy, you can see heat is building up, and I can use the lever and give it power to make it stop building up heat. So pretty much I can like flick this, give it heat, and then it'll build up heat, and then I can turn it back on so that way I stop making heat so I can lock it at a temperature. And depending on how hot your refinery is, will choose your output for the oil capsule. So you can see it's at 55, which is pretty low, and if I put an oil capsule in here and I wait a while, boom, we got naphtha. We'll save that one for later, we need it. Now let's do this again. Can we build up some more heat? Let's go above 100, I'm pretty sure. Or I think it's 150. I need to be above 150 for this next one. There we go. I got a capsule in here. Let's see what happens. Worth noting. And we got diesel. That's different. All right, cool. And now let's crank up the temperature very high for the last thing. It can be like at 300 or something. It can be at max for this next thing. I'll even put in the oil capsule now. 351 is the limit, by the way. Don't go above that. And you can see we get bitumen. So yeah, 3 new products from our oil. They're pretty useful in their own different ways. Let's talk about it. Bitumen with cobblestone can make asphalt, and asphalt can be painted into 2 different colors. This is what asphalt looks like. Yes, we can pave roads in Minecraft now. Isn't that just amazing? Here's an example of what a road could look like. And yeah, if you stand on it, I feel a little faster. Yeah, when you stand on asphalt, you get +2 speed, so that's nice. If that helps. And yeah, any asphalt block will do. It doesn't have to be yellow or blank. The white ones also work. This is all bitumen is used for. It's just a cool little thing. I don't know. I'm sure someone can find a use for this. That's pretty much the motto for my whole mod. Also worth noting, even if you're standing on the asphalt and you go off, you still have the speed for a little bit. I chalk that up to a little bit of the asphalt being stuck on your shoe and making you faster or something. I don't know. Now let's talk about naphtha. With naphtha, water, and plant ball in a chemical creator, it will give you plastic sheets. You'll get 3 plastic sheets from all this stuff. So naphtha is just a way to get plastic that doesn't involve using microplastics from the ocean, so it's just like a better way to get it. But now let's talk about diesel. This is one of the most important because it's used to fuel these new tools that we have in the game. Like the chainsaw from last update. This got kind of a facelift. It's kind of overhauled in this update. It doesn't work like how it did in the last one. Well, it kind of does. We'll talk about it. But yeah, notice how the flamethrower, chainsaw, and drill all require diesel. They all have diesel 0 out of 1,000. That's because we have to input diesel into these guys, and we do that by using a diesel funnel, which is crafted like this. So yeah, right click on the funnel, put a diesel capsule in this bottom slot, put diesel capsules in this slot, and then you can see diesel builds up. And then if I put in my tool, like the chainsaw for example, will do that, because we already kind of know what that does if you watched the last Wheat Death video. But you can see it's slowly filling up with diesel. And now if I hold the thing, you can see it actually works. It doesn't, like, you can see it's actually appearing. Because yeah, these tools don't work without diesel. If you don't have diesel, it just gives you permanent mining fatigue when you hold it, so it won't work without it. But yeah, the chainsaw chops down the entire tree when you use it, and it's also really quick. Hopefully someone finds this useful. I know I would, actually. Now, the drill is pretty much like a really fast, like, pickaxe. Actually, I just realized it's not giving me... It's not giving me the block. That's a little weird. It's not giving me the blocks it drops. It's not on purpose. I must have messed something up. I'm gonna have to look into that a bit more. But yeah, this is supposed to be, like, a fast, like, mining tool. I also might make it so it vein mines ores. I'm thinking about it, or if I want to save that for an electric drill. We'll see. Oh my gosh. But yeah, now let's talk about the last diesel tool, suggested by this person. And this is definitely the most interesting, I would say. I'm really happy with how this came out. It's the flamethrower. Also, before we go on, this is how the chainsaw is crafted. This is how the drill is crafted, and then this is how the flamethrower is crafted. Let me just show you what happens when I attack, like, a pig with it. You can see, I burn the pig. So yeah, first of all, it can be used as a weapon, a pretty effective one. But also, the keen eye viewers of mine might notice something interesting. If I shoot it at stuff, it, like, cooks the stuff. Like, watch what happens when I shoot at the terracotta. Yeah, it cooks it. It smelts blocks that it hits. Kind of like the mechanism flamethrower. You can see if I shoot at this building, all the bricks are starting to get cracked. And if I shoot at the big tree over here, you can see it smelted all of the logs, and now they just turned into charcoal. Isn't that amazing? Just tell me that's not amazing. If I use them on copper, boom, copper ingots. Here's some meme items I added. I'll let you guys mess with that stuff. I don't want to spoil what these items do. You're gonna have to download the mod to find out. Now, before we get on to like the really big part of this mod, the part that took so long, here's one more doohickey. The Enderman blocker, suggested by this person. It's crafted like this, and it's literally just a tool that prevents Enderman from existing in a certain area in 120 block radius to be exact. Because let's be honest with ourselves, we're all annoyed when Enderman like steal blocks, ruin the landscape, all that jazz. But if you make the Enderman blocker, it just gets rid of the Enderman, so you won't have to deal with them anymore. They won't be picking up blocks or anything. So yeah, enjoy that. But yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the inventory. I added a lot of new ores, like a lot of new ores, like 9 of them, 9 new ores. Not new, but like new. Let me give myself night vision, because we're gonna talk about big ore veins. Pretty much everywhere in the world, you'll find these big ore veins chilling now. These can be made out of any of the blocks you just saw. Like this is malachite, for example, and there's like hematite, bauxite, stuff like that. Here's some hematite over here. But yeah, pretty much, oh, this is a really good example. The big ores, it will spawn in a chunk, and it will take up like most of the chunks. You can see it goes all the way up, it's all just freaking malachite. And yeah, these ores can be processed to get a lot of stuff. We'll use hematite as an example. If you crush hematite, you get crushed hematite. And if you put that in a washing machine, you get purified hematite. If you put that in a centrifuge, you get tiny iron piles in scrap chat. The tiny iron piles can be clumped into iron dust, and then the iron dust is smelted to get iron ingots. So yeah, if you're late game and you need a ton of ore for a certain project, you can build this
Nettoie et adoucis ta barbe avec...
Hello everyone, the GregTech version we are going to play today is the official one, GregTech 6. And as you can already tell, this is going to be quite different from what you're used to. That is because, while still being on 107, GregTech 6 is completely different from GregTech 5 and its ports, which is what every other modpack uses. For example, you can forget all of the first tier progression, because in GregTech 6 you can make stainless steel and HV machines using only bronze and ceramic equipment. And that was enough talking. Now let's start playing the actual mod.
This is how to progress in Wheat Death of the Universe, aka the most unhinged Minecraft mod. Check the upload date of this video because some information might be inaccurate because of future updates. You can download the mod by joining my Discord, and it's for Minecraft Forge 1.20.1 and GeckoLib is required, and JEI is recommended. When you spawn in, you'll start with a book, but it's not going to be helpful. And when you chop down a tree, you'll notice some recipes have been changed. So you're going to want to start by collecting some sticks, turning dirt into rocks, and finding hemp seeds from these black bushes. These seeds can be planted without farmland. Combine a rock and a stick for a crude scalpel. Spam right click with this to get mystery meat. It also works as a fine weapon. When you eat the mystery meat, you'll be given the regretful effect. And when that effect expires, you'll poop. And you can eat more to accelerate the process. You can use poop to fertilize your hemp. With hemp, you can make string. And with 3 string, you can make wicker. And with wicker and 3 sticks, you can make a filter. Right click on gravel with a filter to get stuff. Occasionally, you might get some iron dust. Iron dust is what you're on the lookout for.
Actually, I'm going to use craft wicker. And instead of 1.12, we'll put 21.1. Coffee table recipe manager. Remove a recipe. So this steak here pretty much removes everything with tag item. Oh. First, you gotta use this. So instead of this. Oh, wait, I was not even updating. I have the undo. Delete the Minecraft first. Don't forget to fucking save it like a dumbass. Of me, because I forgot to actually save the shit.
Like right here. I recommend collecting at least 6. With a stick, a string, and 2 rocks, you can make a primitive tool. Use this to grab some coal. With 3 sticks and a coal, you can make a campfire. And you can put your iron dust on the campfire to smelt it. Eventually you'll get crappy iron. And with 4 crappy iron, you can make a saw blade. And with 2 oak logs and a saw blade, you can make a sawmill. Place it down, and putting oak logs inside will give you planks. And then with 2 oak planks and 2 iron, you can make a crafting table. Finally. Now go find some clay. Put it on a campfire to smelt. Also worth noting, with 2 white wool, you can make adequate bedding, which functions as a bed where it'll save your spawn, but it won't give you full health. Also worth noting that regular beds don't skip the night, instead they give you full health. With 5 bricks and 4 coal, you can make a crucible. And with 6 cobblestone, 2 crappy iron, and 1 crucible, you can make a furnace. And then if you smelt iron dust in a furnace, you'll get regular iron. We've officially escaped early game. Now we gotta go deep into the mines and collect some copper, redstone, and quartz. Now with a furnace and 8 iron, you can make a generator. It's time to start doing energy. And then with 2 pistons and 6 iron, you can make a circuit sandwicher. Place these 2 next to each other, and smelt your quartz into silicon. Input some fuel into the generator, and you can see it's powered up and we're making energy. And now the circuit sandwicher is energy. With 1 copper, 1 redstone, and 1 silicon, and a little bit of waiting, we get a complex electronic. These are going to be very important from here on out. With a campfire, a complex electronic, and 6 iron, you get the ink.
At VTEX, boldness isn't a...
This is what it takes to progress in Wheat Death of the Universe, aka Minecraft's most unhinged mod. You can download it in my Discord server, GeckoLib required, JEI recommended, or Forge 1.20.1. Last episode detailed early and mid-game progression, and this episode will detail late and end-game progression. You're going to start by exploring, and hopefully you'll locate a meat biome. Meat biome has an important resource we want, but just make sure you're careful traversing, because if you step on these veins, they'll give you hepatitis. But you want to be on the lookout for these pink blocks. These are known as stomach lining, and the stomach lining is a sign of stomach acid being nearby. You're going to want to grab the hydrochloric acid from the stomach, and also grab the kidney stones from here as well. With 4 stomach lining and hydrochloric acid, you can make an acid cell. You're going to want to make a bunch of these. Now with 2 mystery meat, 4 stomach lining, a chunk blaster, and an acid cell, you can make the spewer. The spewer uses acid for ammo, and when you shoot it, you shoot an acid ball that dissolves any block it touches, including bedrock. This will be relevant later. Next, we're going to want a diamond pickaxe, but the recipe to get it has been changed, requiring a diamond and kunk, as well as an alloy smelter. To make the alloy smelter, use 4 iron like this to make iron grates, and then with an iron grate, an electric furnace, 4 iron, 2 complex circuits, and a lava bucket, you can make the alloy smelter. Place it down next to a power source, and then power it to give it energy. Now hopefully you guys know how to get diamonds, but we need another ore, known as kunk. This is what kunk looks like. We want to mine this, and not get attacked by ruckuses. Fun fact, they drop meat and you can eat it. Salt can be smelted into sodium ingots. And with a complex electronic, 2 sodium and 6 iron, we get the kunk modifier. This is what we use to improve our kunk. Place it down, and make sure you're giving it energy. Solar panels are a good option. And now you can input your kunk, and after you wait a little bit, it'll evolve. You can see here we got cloudy kunk from tarnished kunk. And now if we put this in again, we get clean kunk. Wow, okay. Normally it's not supposed to be this easy. You'll see what I mean when you play the mod. Anyway, now we just combine clean kunk and a diamond, and after we wait a little bit, we'll get reinforced diamond. Ta-da! Now with our diamond pickaxe, we're gonna go back underground. Hopefully you'll find one of these bedrock cubes jutting out of a cave or something. These are common enough where you shouldn't struggle to find them. These are known as palladium geodes. If you shoot an acid ball at it, you can open it. And the inside is full of this palladium ore. This stuff is our gateway to late game. And it requires diamond to mine, which is why we made a diamond pickaxe. Now, palladium can be used to make a time machine, but we're actually going to use it for an alien beacon. This thing is what's needed to start an alien invasion, which is the final goal of the mod. We have mostly everything we need, but we don't have intelligent kunk, and that's made through a kunk aggregator. It's a whole process though, and we're going to start by upgrading our complex electronics into complex erectronics with this recipe. A little bit of waiting and we have one. Now we're going to upgrade this further to get intelligent kunk. But that requires a kunk aggregator crafted like this. And with it you can input clean kunk, salt, and acid cells and then wait a little bit. And then you'll get pure kunk. And now with redstone dust, complex erectronic, and pure kunk, you'll get intelligent kunk. Now there's only one thing we need, the alien technology. And for that we're going to need to explore and find an Area 51. These spawn rare-ishly in the wasteland. If you break inside, you're going to see an alien in a test tube. Break the tube and then kill the alien inside. And you'll see we got alien technology. There's other good loot in the Area 51 too, but I don't care to show that off right now. 2 Forsaken foreskin, 4 palladium ingots, 1 alien technology, and 2 intelligent kunk. Alien beacon. Now the alien invasion is not for the faint of heart. I recommend having tungsten armor, a ranged weapon, tons of food and healing items, as well as a diamond sword. There's also a lot of other pieces of gear in the mod that'll help you, but you're going to have to find those. Right-click with the alien beacon. Now you'll notice there's some aliens falling from the sky. There's one there. And we just gotta ride it out for 16 minutes or die. Now there's a lot of cool endgame resources we'll get from this event. Like you can see here, that's the alien technician. This guy summons drones when hurt. The drones are just a nuisance. They don't drop anything good. Killing the technician will give you more alien tech, and there's another thing which we didn't get yet. The chunk shooter is a good weapon to keep these aliens at bay. Uh-oh. What the hell? Oh! I didn't even mean to do that. What the hell? Now this is a poop throwing alien. These ones specialize in range attacks that do really high knockback and damage. And we want to kill these guys because they drop something really cool. Oh, we got something good. This alien technician dropped unfamiliar metal. It has very useful crafting applications. When all is said and done, you should have gotten some really useful resources from this event. Like with unfamiliar metal and alien technology, we can make technology armor. This is undoubtedly the best armor in the mod. Put it on and we have some special abilities. For example, we have a permanent 4D vision effect so we can see mobs through walls. And if I shift with an empty hand, you shoot rapid fire lasers. And they do a lot of damage. And also worth noting, it's only the helmet that has these abilities, and it can be stacked with urine armor so you can pee and shoot lasers at the same time. And the rest of the armor has insanely good stats. The poop thrower aliens drop the poop throwing glove, which when held down and let go, you shoot a poop. And the poop has really high knockback and pretty good damage. So this is a pretty effective ranged weapon and it can be spammed. Lastly, with pure conch, a redstone torch, and alien technology, and some unfamiliar metal, we can make the drone controller. And then with 2 unfamiliar metal and 2 oak, we can make a drone repackager. And with unfamiliar metal, iron bars, and iron, we make drone carcass. All 3 of these things are used in tandem with each other. Place down the repackager. If you add the drone controller and the drone carcass and hit repack, you can see all the drones were added to the drone controller and it gains durability. And now that there are drones inside, we can right click to summon a friendly drone. So yeah, you can have pet drones. And they can also be used in combat. If I hit an enemy, you can see the drones will swarm around it and kill it. Pretty okay for combat. I don't know how to make them fly faster, but if I can figure out how, I will. I guess they're good for defense. I don't know. And if you get tired of your drones, you can shift right click to kill them all. And then you can grab their carcasses and use them later. But yeah, that's how you complete Wheat Death of the Universe.
So if you look at the crafting guys, fuck you. So you cannot make a oh fucking smet. Yeah, this is Cube.js. Reload server scripts. Boom boom. Don't forget to save it because if you don't, then nothing happens. And
At least for now, because I'm gonna be up.
Dating this.
I added house arrest in Minecraft's most unhinged mod. You want to start in an ocean biome and you want to swim into the ocean floor. If you look carefully, you'll see these patches of gravel with colorful pieces in it. Although if you try digging it, you'll realize it's plastic ore. But if you use a filter on it, you'll get microplastics. Any type of fish will also drop microplastics. And now when you're on dry land, you want 6 iron in a formation like this to get capsules. Now capsules are a receptacle to store any liquid or gas. As you can see, there's capsules for every type, and the acid cell was renamed to the acid capsule. You're going to want to fill these capsules up with water. And then with 8 iron, you want to make a machine block. The machine block is used in every machine from now on. And with a machine block, circuit sandwicher, and obsidian, 2 water capsules, and 4 iron, you make the hydraulic press. And inside the hydraulic press, you want to put in 3 microplastic. And after a while waiting, you'll get 1 plastic sheet. And now take this plastic sheet and turn it into a plastic bag. Plastic bags can be worn, but I don't advise this. A better use of it is left-clicking the air, and you'll see you're collecting some air in your inventory. And now if you compress the air with a capsule, you get compressed air capsule. Now while you're waiting for more air cells, take an iron grate, some glass, 3 plastic sheets, and 2 iron to make a diving helmet. And then with some iron and plastic, you can make the rest of the suit. Now this is the diving suit, and it makes finding plastic ore even easier, because as long as you have compressed air in your inventory, your air will get replenished. So you don't have to worry about drowning as much when you're underwater. Now for the actual house arrest part of the update, take 3 plastic, redstone, and iron to make the ankle monitor. Now you definitely do not want this in multiplayer, because once you equip it, you can't take it off. And the way it works is it will randomly spout your location in the public chat. So yeah, easy docs. It does this pretty often too, so don't think you're gonna escape by running away. This thing is pretty much a death sentence on hardcore servers if they're running this mod. Also, apparently you can take off Curse of Binding items in creative, that's nice. For this next edition, you want to build up all the way into the sky. Because remember these blue clouds that are in the sky that don't really do anything? Yeah, they do a lot of things in this update now. Right click on these blocks with your capsules, and you'll get nitrogen capsules. And if you craft nitrogen capsules, you'll get the nitrogen back. Now with a bucket and 2 nitrogen in a hydraulic press, you'll get liquid nitrogen. And this is probably one of the most OP additions in the update, because look what happens when it touches water. And it's not like Frostwalker, this is permanent ice. And it's not limited to just water. Here it is with lava, it hardens it into cobblestone. Here it is with pee, it hardens it into pee crystals. But most interestingly, if it touches blood, it turns into blood ice. Blood ice can only be mined with silk touch. And with 9 of them, you can make packed blood ice. And with 9 packed blood ice, you can make red ice. All the ice is going to have uses in new evil machines, but I haven't added those in this update yet. Probably for more later game evil machines. Now for one of the biggest additions in this update. Make a machine. Usually when people open survival Minecraft servers, they don't end up going too well. They're always plagued with griefers, hackers, killers, and stealers. But what if we opened a Minecraft server that was modded? As you can see, we have some mods. Oh my gosh, I just realized there's a village in the border again. Let's see if this gets massacred like the last experiment we did. I really hope it doesn't, because people could take advantage of that and do something really cool. And there's even another environmental accumulator over here. Oh, someone found diamonds. Let's see what's up. What luck. And an ocean monument. There's a lot of stuff in this world. How far are we even from spawn? We're not even that far. But yeah, I think I'm gonna check back on the server in like an hour, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so we had a huge nightmare. Like a huge nightmare scenario just happened. The server was lagging insanely hard because there were over 20 people and we only had 2 gigs of RAM. And since cracked accounts were turned on, someone was able to log into my account and start running commands. So I turned off cracked accounts and I added a lot more RAM to stabilize the server. And yeah, that's why everyone's back at spawn and no one has items. I gave everyone a chest to put their items in. But yeah, let's come back to this in like an hour. Well, it's officially been 2 hours since we started the server. And we can see there's already quite a few builds at spawn. This is great. Minecraft 1.7.10 is what I consider to be the last golden age Minecraft version. And the reason why 1.7 is so good is because it has the most amount of features without any of the bloat or game-breaking bugs. It's just perfect. It's literally the perfect Minecraft version. It also has a lot of the best mods for it. Amazing mods like Industrial Craft 2, Buildcraft, Evilcraft, Red Power, Mine Factory Reloaded, Railcraft, and others. And today we're going to be starting a world with all of those mods plus others. We're just going to make a world, survival, I don't know what to call it, like poop. And now, we also have a mod which lets us generate beta terrain generation. Beta terrain generation is honestly what I consider to be the best Minecraft world generation ever, and it works well with Minecraft's gameplay. And now we'll be generating beta chunks. So, let's load in. Let's see what we get. Okay, we're in. This is an interesting spot. I'm staring at a hill. But yeah, you can also see I messed with the video settings a bit, and I also installed a texture pack to make things feel extra old. That way it kind of has that beta feel while being more recent, so my mods have cool stuff. Alright, yeah, let's go grab our first tree, and then this tree will be the basis for our entire world. Okay, so one of the first things I want to look for are the industrial craft rubber trees, because we can use those to get rubber, which will kickstart our industrial craft shenanigans. To talk more about that mod is like the OG of OGs, I guess. Like, it's the original Minecraft mod. It's been around since the beta days, like since beta 1.5, and it's kind of what inspired the whole like tech mod genre, I guess. Alright, and also, like I said, the main rule of collecting cobblestone is you always want to get exactly 19 pieces, because that's enough to make every single tool plus a furnace. Also, we have a huge vein of apatite over here. This is from forestry. Apatite isn't that useful. It's only really used for fertilizer, and some other stuff. I'm gonna grab it just so I have it, but I'm not gonna mine the whole thing because there's a ton of it, and if I want it, I'll just come back. Oh, here's copper. Copper is awesome. I'm really glad I found this because copper, unlike regular Minecraft, is insanely useful because it's used in industrial craft and in, like, iron chest. It's used in railcraft and forestry, too, so it's really handy that we found this. There we go. Alright, let's see what's further down. Oh, we got uranium. This is our second industrial craft ore we found. We can't mine it with a stone pickaxe, and we're also not going to be using it for a long time. We're saving that for reactors. And now at this point, there's only really 2 more ores we're yet to find. We need redstone, which, you know, everyone knows about redstone, and then we also need tin, which is the last industrial craft ore on our bucket list. Tin is needed to make batteries, and it's also needed to make certain cables that I want. Sleeping under the stars, or more like under the stone. Oh! I think that's oil over here. Did we find an oil spill? No, this isn't oil, I'll tell you. And, this, I'm pretty sure this is actually sludge. Well, actually, oh, I didn't mean to swim in it. I was gonna, and then I was like, nah, I shouldn't, but then I did it anyway. This is Mine Factory's sludge, and it weakens you, withers you, and makes you nauseous if you swim in it. And also, there's industrial craft rubber trees down there. Yes, we were looking for rubber trees, and we found some down there. That's awesome. I think it's time we make our first handy-dandy, modded tool. 5 wood like this, we can make a tree tap. And now, you can see these industrial craft trees have these little orange spots on them, and those are resin spots. You can see not all the wood blocks have them. Right-click on the spot with a tree tap. It spits out some sticky resin. And now that's going to be used to make rubber, which is used to make cables, which is used for crafting. Oh, we found a dungeon! And, oh, this is one of those evil craft dungeons that have 4 spawners in them. Oh, and a lot of music discs. Okay, and wait, we actually found copper and tin ingots. That's going to be really handy. Now, tin is actually one of the ores we needed. We have a single-use safari net, a saddle, which I'm not going to take so we can craft those. Also a bucket and some tin, and a steel sword, which does a lot more damage than my stone one. Yeah, wait, this is a cool area. I even have a little cave, and I have a poop puddle over here. Yeah, wait a second. I can kind of build up this bay, and it would look really cool, don't you think? Honestly, if I live, like, right here, I don't have dirt to fill in these holes, but if I fill in these holes, this could be an awesome area to live, low-key. Alright, now that it's daytime, though, we can start building a house. I'm excited to do that, because building is really fun. Let me stash away some of my goodies, though. I have a lot of goodies. And also, I'm going to smelt some of my food. Also, I realized I haven't had to eat at all. I don't know why I haven't eaten yet. Is it on hard? Oh, it's been on peaceful this whole time. I didn't realize that. I forgot difficulty 6 between worlds. Because I know I was on peaceful and I was on creative because the slimes were annoying me. But I left it on peaceful. It's like, yeah, now I'm immediately starving to death. Okay, so I put blocks on all the corners. It's been a while since I built a storage room like this. Okay. Yeah! The base is coming together. It needs windows, though. It needs a floor. For now, though, I think we're going to make a mine. Thinking about where I want to put it right now. Maybe I could have a hallway that goes into this mountain, and then that could be kind of cool. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna dig a tunnel that kind of goes into this hill, and then the hill is where we're gonna have a big mining setup. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. It's my world. All right, and now this is where we're gonna make our mine. Yeah, right here, so I have room if I want to do rails or something, is where I'll have a tunnel that goes down. Oh, we found tin! Yes! Tin! We're on tin level, baby. Now, tin is used for a lot of industrial crafting, like batteries and certain machines. I'm going to be grabbing a lot of it now, but don't be surprised if I skip over it in the future, because it is really common, and it's not used in too many recipes, but it is really handy, and it's something we need to kickstart our industry shenanigans. Okay, oh, gold! Gold is a pretty specialized resource, and it's useful in pretty much every mod I have, so I'm glad we found it. Alright, we're at Y16. We can actually find diamonds now, which is awesome. If I struggle, at least I can use the Find Diamonds app to find all of those beautiful diamonds. They should make a Find Redstone app, because there's no redstone in this hoe. Oh, Sapphire. Sapphire is actually from Project Red, and this stuff is pretty cool because it's actually as good as Diamond, but it has less durability and it can't be used to mine obsidian. So it's actually a really good option for making tools. Redstone! Yes! Redstone was actually the last thing we needed to start industrial craft progression, so that's really handy. We can finally start industrializing. And there's also something else we found. This is Electrotine. This is from Project Red. It's for Bluetricity stuff, but we're not really going to be dabbling in that in this episode. Oh! Cave. Oh, I think we found a cave, fellas. Oh! We found diamonds on episode 1! We are so lucky, fam. We're simply too awesome. And I'm pretty sure I can mine this with Sapphire. Yes, I can. This is gonna put us really ahead. Diamonds are pretty much, like diamonds are even more useful thanks to all the mods that use them in crafting stuff, so. There's even a dungeon. This is massive. You know what else is massive? Oh, yes, attack each other. Okay, I can take advantage of this. Alright, now what do we have in the chest? Potatoes! And carrots. The textures got changed because of the texture pack we have for some reason, but they look cool. We got carrots and potatoes. We have copper, tin. That's lucky. And what's in this chest? Oh! I can find sponges in these? No, sponges don't work. I can't believe I found sponges, though. That's crazy. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know what mod I have that changed dungeon loot, but this is huge. What is that thing? And more diamonds! Cool. What was this? Oh, it dropped an enchanted book. Fire protection 1. I'm not even gonna carry that. More diamonds, though, is huge. We're so lucky. I mean, there's, like, a ton going on right now. I need to recuperate. So, we got the diamonds. And then this evil stone is used for evil craft, which is, like, the only magic mod we have installed. And that's a really cool mod. It's like blood magic and stuff. Yes, it was cool. And I actually went in the config and I made this stuff a lot rarer than it normally is, so I might struggle to find it. My copper is done. I can upgrade my chest. How do I make a chest upgrade? And I'm gonna upgrade these both to copper chest because I have a surplus. There we go. We actually have 2 extra rows, which is handy. So yeah, that'll help with storage for sure. Before we start industrializing, I want to plant my potatoes and carrots just so I have a good food source. And I also, in a future episode, we can do something with crops related to industrial craft. So I want to start stockpiling these for when we do that. That's one of my favorite industrial craft features actually is the crop stuff. So okay, so over here we're gonna have a little hallway, and this hallway is going to lead to a machine room, which I'm gonna put right here, I think. Big old room right here. This is always how I do my industrial craft machine rooms. Well, here was my first modded beta when I was in 3 World. If I had industrial craft 1, I always built these machine rooms like this. Now the first thing we're gonna do is our sticky resin that we watched earlier. We're actually gonna want to smelt this because when we smelt it, we'll get rubber. Yeah, while we're waiting for that though, I'm actually gonna take the rubber tree saplings I made, and we're gonna start a little plantation outside. And once these grow up, we'll be able to get saplings, and we'll exponentially expand this whole thing. But yeah, you can see we have rubber in our furnace now, and this is gonna be really handy. Because if I take this copper that we have, you can see our first, like, real industrial craft recipe besides the tree tapper. We put 3 copper in a line like this, we'll get uninsulated copper cable. And then if we combine that with rubber, we will get copper cable. And then this is a handy-dandy crafting component. And we can also place this down so we can transport energy and stuff. Here, what we're going to start with is we're going to take those tin ingots we found earlier, because I just have them handy. And we're going to combine it with some redstone in a pattern like this to make a battery. I want to smelt iron again, and you'll see why. You can see if I take some of our iron here, if I take 8 of it, in industrial craft, you can actually smelt iron a second time, and you'll get something really useful when you do that. You can see we get refined iron ingot, and then this is used to make a machine block, which is actually the last component we need to make a generator. All right, all the refined iron is done, and now we just make 8 refined iron like this to get a machine block, combine the machine block with a furnace and battery, and we get a generator. And then this is used to make electricity. I'm really excited. And now we have the generator, right? And now watch what happens when I put in like any combustible material into this thing. You can see it's on, and we're making energy, and we can actually store this energy with another handy-dandy block we're gonna make right now. So with a copper cable, 3 batteries, and with 5 planks, we can make a bat box, which is short for battery box, and that's what's gonna store our energy. So if I connect the generator with some cables to the bat box, you can see energy is being moved from the generator to the bat box, and then we can send this to other machines, which we'll place down at some point. Yeah, we have quite a bit of energy, which is nice. I'm actually gonna make more because we're gonna make our first machine, like actual machine, very soon. Let's go. Oh my gosh, who is that outside my house, bro? I wanted to go hunt mobs. Who is that? Ooh, I don't like that. That's gotta be from primitive mobs. What? Dude. Oh my gosh. I'm getting bombed. He's bombing me. Why did you do so much damage? I'm dead. What even was that? What even happened just now? Is that the Unabomber? Dude, the Unabomber just pulled up to my crib and nuked my house. Well, now I'm stranded. I don't... Oh, wait, my base is right there. I live a lot closer to spawn than I thought I did. Stay the hell away from me. Thank you very much, you freak. I can rebuild, but, like, that's tragic. Oh, my chest. That is a lot more autistic than a regular creeper. I didn't give the creeper a good morning text, and I got absolutely cooked up. At least I still have my personality. All right, we pretty much rebuilt from what just happened, and now I think we're ready to continue.
I'm hoping that it worked. Wait, can I add something called... Oh, let me click. Nice.
Continue industrializing after that little hiccup. And we're gonna make our first machine right now. So for that, we're gonna need a machine block, but we're also gonna need this thing called a electronic circuit. And again, one of these is pretty straightforward. We already know how to get this. You need cables, redstone, and refined iron. Okay, so this machine requires us to make 4 more tree taps. So we're gonna do that first. And I'm actually gonna make an extra just to use as a tool. So, and now we're ready with an electronic circuit, machine block, and 4 tree taps. We will be given an extractor. And now this machine is awesome because it will let us turn 1 sticky resin into 3 rubber instead of 1 sticky resin into 1 rubber. But we can also turn rubber wood into 1 rubber per. You can see we're extracting our rubber. We are gonna get a lot more stuff with this, and it opens up a lot of new possibilities. The next machine we're gonna make is a macerator, and it's made with flint, cobblestone, and other stuff. And the macerator is really quite handy because it is used to double our ores. We can turn plants into dirt, but we can make bronze through it. And circuit plus machine block plus cobble plus flint, and we get the mace.
I've not saved it.
Macerator. This is like the signature industrial craft machine, with good reason, because it's so good. So what we want to do is we want to make bronze, and for that, we need tin and copper dust. So you can see if I put tin in here. All right, you can see our tin turn into tin dust. Also, can we just take a second to appreciate how rich I am? Like, look at all the rubber I have. This is awesome, although I am starving. All right, now we have all 3 copper dust, and you combine 3 of those with 1 tin in your crafting grid to get bronze dust, and then this can just be smelted into bronze ingots. I've said this a billion times before, but when I'm bored waiting for things to happen in Minecraft, I like to just browse recipes. Oh, also wait, they made it so you can put different bayonets on the musket in this update. That's awesome. All right, well, yeah, we got all our bronze, and the thing we can make with this, with the musket in this update, you just browse recipes. Oh, also wait, they made it so you can put different bayonets on the musket in this update. That's awesome. All right, well, yeah, we got all our bronze, and the thing we can make with this, with 6 bronze, is a wrench. And now the wrench is used to pick up our industrial craft machines, because not so fun facts, if I were to mine this with a pickaxe, I would only get the machine casing back. I would not get the actual macerator, for example. But using a wrench, we will get it back, which is handy. So I can use this to rearrange my machine room when I end up doing that. But we're gonna make solar panels, and solar panels are crafted like this. 3 coal dust, which we just macerate coal, and then glass, which I have, and then electronic circuits and generators, which we know how to make already. Let's go see what's over here. Oh, we got some emerald. Emerald's the exact same as sapphire and ruby, but it's pretty cool. Or it's not called emerald anymore. It's peridot. There's now vanilla emeralds are in the game. All right. Oh, there's some evil gems up here. Those are handy. No! Diamonds! Yay! We got more diamonds. I'm so happy. I love finding more diamonds. You know, I should make a mining laser as soon as I can do medium voltage machines. I'm saying medium voltage like I'm playing Greg Tech, but like the MFA is a medium voltage industrial craft. You should make a horror mod, maybe, but I don't really like playing horror mods, so I don't know if I'd have. Speaking of horror mods, that just scared the shit out of me. There's no way any of my stuff survived. I guess we'll go down there and check. There's absolutely no way my stuff is still there. How is bro this calm? To be honest, I've died so many times in this game, it doesn't even, like, I don't even care. Like, it doesn't affect me anymore. I feel nothing. That was a really unfair death, though. Like, I couldn't even hear the creeper. Oh, a lot of my stuff did live. All right, I'm glad I came back here. Oh, there's more diamonds over there, yo. My helmet survived. That's the only...
Recipe for boosted then you get next time. There's Summit, which is a puppet island. Let's see, better view.
piece of my armor. I got a bunch of my pickaxes, my torches, my musket, my ammo. Pretty much everything except my armor live. Even my diamonds survive. I think I can keep mining in the condition I'm in, actually. I like to keep this helmet as a relic, so hopefully I don't die with it, but... Oh my gosh, there's more diamonds! Oh my gosh, there's more diamonds! More diamonds! Oh my golly gosh. I'm a lucky Luke right now. Okay, oh yeah, actually, I think right now I might make a diamond drill, because I can kind of afford it now. I don't want to make another pickaxe. And a diamond drill would definitely come in handy. So, a diamond drill is pretty much like diamond pickaxe, but it can be recharged, which pretty much means it won't break in, so it just doesn't work if it runs out of durability or electricity. And making one of those is pretty simple. We just need 6 refined iron, which we need 5 for the actual drill, and then we need 1 for the circuit. And then we also need to make a battery. And then after that, we combine it with 3 diamonds, and then we have a diamond drill. And I have quite a few diamonds. I'm actually, like, so rich. Alright, so... Oh, wait, I can throw this? I'm a little scared, too. Because I have a mod that lets me throw bricks. Looks like it works on any ingot. Let me try it with iron. That's so cool. I didn't know what Oh my gosh, it works with the modded ingots. That's so cool. That's sick. And yeah, the throwable ingots, watch this. They break glass and stuff. It's so sick. I didn't know it would work on that. I don't have glass to fix the window. Oops. Yeah, I love this throwable brick mod. I didn't know it worked on ingots. That's so cool. This mod just gets better every time I use it. Like, it has explosive bricks and a brick launcher. And now I can throw ingots. And I'm assuming I can launch the ingots too, which is just so sick. It even works on the brick soldier. Are you kidding me? This mod is awesome. I didn't know it was this cool. Okay, yeah. Anyway, I got so sidetracked. We're gonna make the drill like this, I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's a chainsaw. Other way. There, this is the drill. So mining drill, and then combine it with 3 diamonds to make the diamond drill. And now we can charge it up and we'll be good to go. Alright, there's a little bit of clay right here. This is the tiniest clay deposit ever, but it'll be enough to make a brick launcher. W skin. Thank you. I made it myself. I made an industrial basis sky skin. I showed it off in the Discord. It's cool. To make a brick cannon, we need 1, 2, 3, 4 brick blocks, 2 iron, and a stick. And oh, it requires gunpowder to shoot, it looks like, so let me grab some gunpowder. Alright, now I'm really excited to give this thing a try. Alright, so with the brick cannon, I'll just shoot an iron ingot at this glass. Whoa! That's way further. And it drops iron nuggets, even compatible with, like, whatever adds iron nuggets. I think that's forestry. That's awesome. And I actually can't even make these normally, I'm pretty sure, so that's funny. Unidix turned off iron nugget production for some reason, but I wonder if I hit that sheep. Oh my gosh! That's so awesome. Awesome. I love this brick throwing mod so much. I don't know what mod adds to the ghost mods, but it's super annoying. Oh, we dropped the whole TNT. Wait, I can make an explosive brick now. Can we test this thing? I don't really want to destroy, like, the outside world, so let me go underground and let me test it. Let's throw the explosive brick. Oh. That was kind of disappointing. I was messing with the explosive brick in creative, and it did a lot more damage, but oh well. It must not do a lot of damage to stone, and then glass. There we go. Solar panels. We got a bunch of them, 7 of them to be exact. We've doubled our solar array here, which is pretty nice. So many panels. You know, maybe about time to make an MFE and like a jetpack and stuff now. First off, I do want to do a chainsaw. Oh, it uses an advanced. Oh, it's with a nether for that. I didn't know that. What is that recipe, bro? Nuclear jetpack requires a reactor, chambers, and an EV transformer. What even is that? Is that extreme voltage? Oh yeah, we have compacted jetpacks now. I forgot about that. These are awesome. Industrial Classic is such a good mod. Holy crap, I love it. Alright, let me get obsidian now. Yeah, mod. Holy crap. Crap, I love it. Alright, let me get obsidian now. Damn, okay. This spider's gotta die. Are you kidding me? Damn it, it's so annoying how you can't prevent that once they see you. Like, it pisses me off. Alright, so with this dugout, we can, then we can put our portal somewhere in the wall. Obsidian like this, and then torches. And now let's light it. The nether. Okay, right away. Don't even look at your surroundings. Just make sure you can protect yourself, because the old nether is really freaky. Alright, yeah, let's look for a low-hanging glowstone cluster we can grab. Oh, there's redstone here. Neat. Yeah, the nether ores explode sometimes. What the hell compelled you to do that? I don't even, I'm not even gonna, I don't know. We'll go back. Because you mine the ore, I played the mod already. Oh, does mining the ores make pigmen mad at you? Wow, I do not even want to touch these ores then, that's scary. Are you still mad? Oh my gosh, you are. Oh my gosh. Wait, how do I even get my stuff back then? Yeah, the only times I really get mad at this game is when I get stuck in death loops. That's so annoying to recover from. Yeah, they're clip farming me right now, for real. I got my sword, I got my musket, I got my balls. Yeah, I have everything. Oh, I even got my own flesh. Cool, that's my first piece of my own flesh I've recovered. Oh, this is Peridot? Yeah, that is. Oh, no. Oh, it was a nether ore. I'm stupid. I'm an actual idiot. Oh, they're pissed. Whatever, just get the glowstone. That's what I'm here for, damn it. My reward. I'm just gonna mine all of it. Alright, now I just have to get back without dying. Alright, let's get out of here. I would consider this humanoid flesh a relic, so I'm going to put it in my relic chest. And then combine that with glowstone, refined iron, and a circuit. And we get a jetpack. That's going to be handy. Charge this up and we'll be able to fly. Oh! Let's check out the jetpack, baby. Really excited. This thing's quite handy. Whoa, whoa, they changed the model on your back. I like that a lot more. Oh, that's sick. Hold on, wait, you guys got to look at this. I need to charge my drill. Put the jetpack on it. Oh. Oh wait, I can shift click to wear items now. Yes, that's another change. See, this is why 1.7 is the best. It's the most polished without any of the garbage bloat or bad features like phantoms. But yeah, look at this. Oh my gosh, that's so clean. I love how that looks on the armor stand and just on my body in general. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Being able to fly, dude, we can see our world from angles we haven't seen it from now. Dude, this is gonna be such a productive episode 1. Like, I remember in the last series, it took me till episode 3 to make a jetpack, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so yeah, it's about time we sort EvilCraft then, because EvilCraft is used to make the Vengeance Pickaxe, which has Fortune 10. which is kind of overpowered. If I can change that in config, I probably will, but that's pretty good. Okay, so to start with the Vengeance pick, we need Dark Sticks, which we need Undead Wood for. Now, Undead saplings are made by putting dead bushes in a Blood Infuser, and the Blood Infuser needs Hardened Blood to make, so we're going to start with getting the Hardened Blood. I have played through Evilcraft before, so I actually do know how to do this. We just need a Blood Extractor. Should be pretty straightforward. We make spikes like this, and then with 3 spikes, a glass and an Evil Stone, we make an Extractor, and I'm actually going to make another one, just so I have it, just one more blood. And now we just got to go kill a bunch of things. That should not take too long. Like, look at that mount. I can build something cool out of this. Maybe a secondary base. That'd be awesome. I like mountain bases. I didn't do one in the other old mod series. Oh, I sort of did, but it sucks, so I'd like to do a better one. So yeah, here, I'm just going to kill like every animal here to hopefully grab a ton of blood, and then I'll be good to go. How do creeper heads look on the armor stand? That crashed my game. Alright, so to make Hardened Blood, we just have to go outside and then place some blood blocks. After we wait a little bit, it'll turn into Hardened Blood blocks, and we can break it with a flint and steel, and I think that'll give us the Hardened Blood. When is it going to harden? It's actually taking so long. Oh, it doesn't happen if there's water within 4 blocks of it, so I think that's what's going on here. Yep, there's water way too close to it, it looks like. So let's make another blood pool farther from where water is. Oh, yep, it hardened almost immediately. Okay, so I'll just grab a bunch because I know I'll use it all eventually. Next thing we want to do is put some more blood here. We throw a dark gem, and I think it sucked up all the blood, and now we have a dark power gem. And now we're pretty much ready to make the blood infuser, which is nice. And then dark power gem for the infusion core, and then 8 cobblestone for the blood infuser. All right, now we have an undead sapling, and I think we can bone meal it. All right, now let's chop it down. Dark gems, undead planks, and we get dark sticks. 3 diamonds, 2 dark sticks, 2 hardened blood. And we got the Vengeance pickaxe. Extremely handy and honestly overpowered, let's face it. Oh! Diamonds! Oh my gosh, we get to test the pickaxe on it. I'm so excited. Alright, I need to clear the area to make sure no Vengeance spirits spawn and gank me. Okay. 7 diamonds from 1 ore is crazy, by the way. Ooh, that was close. None of them fell in the lava. 23 diamonds is overpowered, but, like, that's awesome. Also, I'm pretty sure there's a way I can rip off the fortune book and use it in a different tool. Okay, yeah, so I think we're gonna make a mining laser now, because the mining laser pretty much... Well, actually, I'm not gonna spoil it. We'll just say it's really damn good. We actually can't make a mining laser yet, though, because we need to make an MFE, which is like an advanced battery box, which is required to charge it. 4 energy crystals, machine block, and then our cables, and then we can do our energy crystals, and we're pretty much good. MFE, and this is actually a medium voltage machine, so we need a low voltage transformer to ensure our machines don't blow up. All right, low voltage transformer completed, and now we just need some regular copper cables as well as our gold ones. MFE like this. You can see the solar panel cable here. It's gonna connect to the MFE like this, so we're getting energy in there now. I want a gold cable to go here because it can handle medium voltage, and then we're gonna have the low voltage transformer like this, so energy's going through, and now we can put the cables itself going under, and if I connect this here, nothing should explode, and these will get energy still. All right, now it's time we can make the mining laser now that we can charge it, and making this is straightforward enough. We just need some, well, actually, wait, we need advanced alloy, which needs a compressor, so we actually have to make a compressor first. It looks like. Oh, tech mod rabbit hole. All right, I need to make a ton of refined iron just in advance. So machine block plus circuit plus stone gives us the compressor. Making a mixed metal ingot is easy enough. We just need tin, bronze, and refined iron like this. And we actually need to make 2 of these. Right, now we put down our compressor. I'll just put it right here. This is a fine spot, and then we can let that do its thing. There we go, mining laser. Awesome, laser time. All right, let's charge this up, and I'll show you guys what it does. Here, all right, let me demonstrate the mining laser. It's really quite cool. So you can hit M and then right click to change the setting. And if I were to go here, mining is the default setting, so we'll do mining. If I right click, it just deletes a bunch of blocks. It's so nice. There's cool settings like long range too, which go just really far to mine a ton of blocks at once. And then you can pick them up and have them. And also, what's really cool is yesterday I used World Edit and I ported the world to Red Power 2 instead of Project Red because someone sent me a Red Power 2 mod for this version, or port for this version, which is nice because it's not like Project Red, which is kind of watered down and not as good, so pretty nice. Okay, storage. Just look at my storage room. Like, it's very obvious why I've been procrastinating on it. It's an absolute mess. And I'm kind of thinking of how I want to do it. I might put chests in the middle here, or maybe I'll line them against this wall. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do storage here. I think, do it like this, maybe. Yeah, you know, I like that. And then we can do like logistics pipes chicanery in the future. And, you know, I'm actually gonna put these chests on like pedestals real quick, the glass, because I need glass to make No way, I turned into a ghost! Oh my gosh. I don't know how many slabs I need. I'll make a bunch. All right, that should be good. 8. All right, cool. And then wool and then glass. All right, so we have a bunch of oak cases now. And now these are pretty cool because they can be placed like this, and we can put items inside like that. Yeah, they're like big item frames. They're cool. How does this look now? Do I like that? I do. All right, yeah. So how does this look now? Do I like that? Frames. They're cool. How does this look now? Do I like that? I do. Alright, yeah, so let's do all the other... How do full blocks look in here? Ooh, even full blocks look really cool. Okay, good. Yeah, happy with that. I like the storage room. I even have room in the back here if I want to do logistics pipes. So I think I'm gonna end episode 1 here because I've done so much stuff.
Avec Olaf les Plantes, il y a toujours un forfait pour disposer de données.
Welcome to the Golden Age Mods Episode 2, featuring Industrialcraft, Buildcraft, Red Power, Forestry, Railcraft, and others. All the best mods from back in the day were on version 1.7.10 with beta world terrain. Ignore the giant electric fence around the base. I wanted to try something. I did this all off camera, and it didn't work out. I'm probably gonna tear this thing down. Please excuse the giant electric fence around the base. I wanted to try something new, and it didn't really work out, so I'm gonna tear it down later, most likely. But yeah, today's gonna be a cool episode. Welcome everybody to the Old Mods Let's Play, Part 3, featuring Industrialcraft, Buildcraft, Railcraft, Evilcraft, all the crafts, for sure. Now, this is our machine room. It's pretty terrible, to be honest. It's like very bad. And the reason why I say that is because the wiring was all over the place. I barely have any machines. They're not really sorted, not good power gen. I gotta work. So this video was suggested by this person. Hello everybody, welcome back to another progress report on my Minecraft 1.7.10 modded world. It's Halloween right now, or at least technically it was. It's 12:20 in the morning, November 1st, so 20 minutes ago, Halloween ended. Wait, my computer still thinks it's Halloween, and I was able to catch something special. Yeah, I got a pumpkin skeleton. These only spawn on Halloween in Minecraft. It's awesome. I can't believe I actually found it. I literally opened my game at 11:57, 3 minutes away before I could have been able to find this. I can't believe how lucky I got. As soon as I close my game, these guys won't spawn for a whole year, unless I change my computer's time, but that's cheating and kind of a lot of effort anyway for something so novel. But yeah, it's crazy. I can't believe I actually got one. Like, this is just something I'm just gonna have now in my world, isn't it? Just amazing. Yeah, if I go down here, I don't want to die because he got me pretty low. But like, oops, yeah, I have a cave right here. You can see I name tagged him, so he's not gonna despawn. It's just amazing. Like, I'm just gonna have this from now on. I got a skeleton buddy. I want to maybe get a zombie too with this other name tag. I'm not gonna count on it. Honestly, one mob is enough, and it's kind of hard to find mobs with the hardcore darkness. Like, the whole time during the night, I kept placing torches in random spots because I couldn't see anything, but then that would block mob spawn, so it was kind of an interesting kind of game. Like, you can see there's just, like, random torches about in this field. But I can't believe I actually got one. Like, it was just starting to turn day when I found it. I got really lucky. Yeah, I just barely got onto Minecraft to do this. Like, for the whole day, I had to get together with a bunch of my friends, and we were hanging out until, like, and while I was showering, I just checked the time. I realized Halloween was about to end, and I was like, I really gotta get this done. So I speedran the rest of my shower, and I actually got on my computer, and Minecraft loaded by the time Halloween was about to end. So that's just actually, like, perfect timing. Because remember, even though it's technically November 1st, Minecraft still thinks it's Halloween because I opened the game right before it ended. Also, yeah, I'm growing a lot of water artichoke. I literally have no reason to. I just am. I'm not really doing witchery stuff yet. A bunch of these are ghost blocks, bro. Also, if you're wondering, I got these name tags from Craftable Name Tags and Saddles mod. Very handy. It makes horse armor, saddles, horse armor, all craftable. I also have a separate one for chain armor. Oh yeah, I'm gonna back up my world to make sure I don't lose that skeleton, and then we'll do some other stuff. Alright, we are back. Now, it's actually been kind of a while since I've recorded on this world. I've been busy with a lot of other projects and videos, but now I'm back to recording on this world, so that's cool. Yeah, I have been playing. You might see I have a few base changes. All I really did is I have this room behind my mine room, and it leads to a greenhouse down here, which is where I'm starting to grow food. It's a really mediocre farm, but I mean, eventually it'll get good, I hope. And then through here, I have this glass room, which I plan to get a horse for. I want to have a horse. I'll talk more about why I want a horse so bad later. And then in this room, I have another portal, which I've not gone inside yet. I want to do the nether soon as well. But I think first I want to get a horse, because horses are cool. Also, something else I should probably mention, I got some new gadgets. I have a solar helmet, which as long as I'm standing under the sun, it'll recharge my tools and stuff. I'm not sure if I mentioned these. I have a chainsaw and a diamond drill, which the drill is pretty much like a pickaxe and a shovel combined, and a chainsaw is like a sword and an axe combined. And these use energy, so they don't break. When they run out of energy, I just can't use them no more until I recharge them. Anyway, I have the lap pack, which stores a bunch of energy that my tools will use. So that's cool. I like extend my energy capacity with these. So pretty much I get more uses out of them before I gotta recharge. Hello, everybody. We're finally back again playing Better Than Adventure. This is a really, really well-made beta 1.7 mod. And this is part 2 of me playing it. Although this is kind of like a part 1 because in the first actual part, I was just checking out the mod in like creative mode and stuff. But yeah, now we're actually starting a world and taking this semi-seriously. So let's have fun. I'm just going to make a new world and all settings default. What's our name going to be? The Outlandish Archipelago. I like that one. Alright, we're in our world. We're in a taiga biome. It looks like that's pretty cool. I should probably mention I actually finally downloaded the latest version of the mod. Thank you guys in the comments of my last video for pointing out that I was on the wrong version of the mod. But now I'm on the most recent one, so we have all the up-to-date features and whatever. Also, if you guys want to see me do more videos on this mod, let me know in the comments. Okay, I'm gonna go get some tools now. Also, I just realized crafting made like an XP noise. I don't know. I don't think there's XP in this mod, so I don't know what that was, but cool, I guess. It happened again. I think it's just an achievement sound. I'm assuming this cobbled granite can be used for tools. I really hope so. Also, what does this look like? Oh, that's a nice block. Here we go. We got a bunch of stone tools. We're doing pretty good. I want to go look for food, and then we can go build a house with these new blocks that we have access to. May as well, right? Beta Minecraft is 100% building, you know? There's not really much semblance of progression in Beta Minecraft besides the different tiers of armor. So yeah, building, big focus, which is good, because I like doing that. Although I really hope I find a biome that isn't this one. Looks like I did, so that's lucky. Oh, it's a birch forest. I don't like that one either, but, you know, it's okay. Maybe it's better. I don't like the vanilla birch forest. Maybe this one is better. Who knows? Yeah, I was just messing around with this mod earlier. I was generating a bunch of worlds, and I literally spawned in a taiga every single time. I don't know why. And I see a sunburnt pig over there. That's fun. Oh, I see, like, twin roses over here. That's cool. Can I, like, stack them on? That's awesome. Wait a second. I can stack multiple flowers on top of each other. That's amazing. Top 10 things that should just be in vanilla Minecraft. Different flowers cannot go on the same block, though, but that's not a big deal, I guess. That needs to be in regular Minecraft. I mean, I know they kind of have it with, like, pink petals and similar items, but honestly, all flowers should be like that. Whatever. I could ask for things all day. Grappling hooks, please. I can plant a ton of them on one tile. I think, how many is that? Alright, it looks like 4 can go on one tile. Interesting. That is a beautiful looking mountain over there. Honestly, I could shake it up and live in a snow biome. I don't usually live in snow biomes when I play Minecraft. There's also some sugarcane over here. I don't want to go too far because I don't have a bed yet, and if I don't have a bed, I'm not going to be able to save my spawn. This little basin over here is kind of a cool